He got empty pockets and heartache from the USA. The government came and took it all away. If he's a good boy, he gets his allowance. Kim.com hashtag glowing clairvoyance. Why do you glow so hard? Kimteam.com, what is hiding in your past? Kimteam.com stole from Hollywood, insider trading and embezzlement sting. Now he's on Twitter calling scammers with the only thing. The FBI left him a G-string. But when the glow's called him, he shed a tear. Now he's calling other people scammers out of fear. He got empty pockets and heartache from the USA. The government came and took it all away. Why do you glow so hard? Kimteam.com, what is hiding in your past? Kimteam.com stole from Hollywood, insider trading and embezzlement sting. Now he's on Twitter calling scammers with the only thing. The FBI left him a G-string. Why you go so hard? 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 So hard.
Oh, why you glow so hard, Kim.com. Honestly, that thing is a banger, chat. Damn, that is a banger. I can't believe we haven't been playing that more. Oh, and there's the creator right there. I don't know how to say his name. I just call him Pepe. Pepe made the video. Honestly, man, Pepe, you are really good. Jeremy even said that he wanted to hire you. I kind of want to hire you, man. Like you, I probably pay more for these clips than I would charge that you would charge me to make this stuff. Hey, everybody in the chat, guys. We have a special stream tonight, guys. Special stream. Decided we might as well piggyback off of the attention that we got from the Candace Owens interview. I have just finished posting the second explainer video of the MH370 videos. I also posted a reel as well. And I am going to take those videos. I'm going to post it on TikTok on Instagram and Twitter here in a little bit, maybe during the stream. So today's stream, guys, I am going to answer questions about the videos in terms of what people want to know about them, but please take a look at my highlights and you can find a lot of clips that explain a lot of different concepts around the videos. There's a few more things as well that I wanted to talk about. And, we're just going to have a little bit of fun tonight, honestly, in general. Let's see. Yeah, I found a few more things that we didn't talk about yesterday that were not on the Candace Owens interview. So I want to talk about that as well again. Is she hot in real life? Guys, that's called objectifying women, which I don't like to do. But yes, she's extremely hot in real life. And she's extremely cool in real life as well. Even more impressive than I thought. Frankly, I did not know what to expect with Candace Owens. She was great. I love the feedback that we've been getting on the Candace Owens live stream or the interview. That was recorded several weeks ago, and then she played it when she went on vacation. So I want you guys to keep that in mind with respect to why some stuff was not in there, some of the newer stuff that we found out. And yes, you can see, I want to point out one thing as well. Just right off the bat, why are we doing this live stream? Because I kind of want to shoot back at some of these weirdos and stuff that are kind of like coming at me in general. Really what I want to do is I want to give you guys a background in terms of how these people communicate behind the scenes. I can't even believe it now that I look at this shit. But I'm going to go ahead and show you. Yeah, David Chester is going to be getting called out in this as well. I just think he's kind of an idiot, honestly. I don't think he's a glowy. I think he's too stupid to be a glowy. But these guys don't realize that they're like being manipulated by like CIA agents. And I just want to show you guys like how open it is. Honestly, it's crazy. And so the main point of this stream, but we're going to get to that in a little bit, is that Jack Sarfatti has, for some reason, been spamming me on email chains with like dozens of people. And he just like reveals everybody's emails. And when you look at them, like, I can't believe this is even a thing that these people have these email chains. It's like every single person in the entire UFO community, CIA agents, physicists, they're all just on these email chains going around. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And so today, just to give, if you guys did not get to see the big reveal, that was the thumbnail on this. Can I make this bigger? Probably not. I think you guys can see this, right? Let me maximize this. Yeah, okay. So this is one of the email chains in question that was started by Jack Sarfatti, guys. Is Ashton Forbes really Bob Lazar? And then he like broke this chain off from another chain. Note, Ashton never says what his educational institutions he intended are. So you guys are not going to be able to believe this, probably, how stupid these people are. Like, Jack Sarfatti is a complete fucking idiot. So there's really two options, right? Either these guys are trying to push intentional disinformation or they're just literally morons. They found some kind of website on the internet that like is some fake website that's all about me and it just lists all this fake stuff about me. And I can't tell if they like actually thought it was real. I can't tell you guys. We're going to look through all the emails. You guys can tell me. Yeah, I don't care if I show my email. It's fine. It's no big deal, guys. It's on my thing. They already have my email anyway. But yeah, so you guys can tell me if like you think that if they're legit, if they're disinfo or whatever they are. I am gonna black out the other people's emails. You can kind of see. Oh, I am showing somebody's email on here. Whoops. Whatever. I'm gonna try to black out their emails the best I can and not dox people in general. But this will be a good lesson for people like Jack Sarfatti to not just like expose all these people's like emails on these massive chains that he does. It's crazy. Like, honestly, you should never trust Jack Sarfatti with anything. You can't even trust him with your email address. If you invite him to like any interview or anything like that, he's going to spam. He's going to reveal your email to everybody. When I interviewed Jack Sarfatti, he literally gave the StreamYard invite to a bunch of random people. He just spread it all over publicly. Like, these people are wackadoos, honestly. And they're just straight up boomers too. Like, just boomers, chat. Just really boomers. It's crazy. So one thing I wanted to point out, guys, is I did a TikTok video that I posted on X the day before the Candace Owens interview dropped. And in that, I told you guys exactly what was going to happen, is that all these disinformation agents would come out of the woodwork. And that is exactly what happened. Kim.com, I found out, hadn't even been posting on Twitter for a month. Kim.com didn't post on Twitter for a month. He's in the middle of being extradited to the United States as a career criminal and facing 181 years in prison for racketeering, wire fraud, all this shit. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And he decides that his first post back is going to be a defamatory fake lie about me on the Candace Owens Twitter post. And you've got all these like idiot retards like backing him up that think he's some kind of hero for free speech or some shit. These people have been brainwashed like crazy. If you don't realize that Kim.com is a career scammer, everything he's ever done has been a scam. He even did a Bitcoin wallet scam where he's trying to convince people that you should buy his weird fake crypto, like shit tier crypto thing. Like, guys, you are getting played hard if you believe anything related to Kim.com. This dude glows like a fucking Christmas tree, man. Glows like a Christmas tree. He should have absolutely nothing to do with this case, and yet he's super invested in it. And it's obvious why. Why? Because the MH370 videos represent the biggest conspiracy in the history of the world. Just straight up, they're the biggest conspiracy. Nothing's even close, not COVID, not any of this stuff. We're talking they're hiding free energy. They're hiding teleportation technology that would allow us to just go to Mars instantly. And, so why is this career scammer who the United States government has over a barrel? Some people were saying, like, how can he be an asset? How does that make sense? Like, I can't tell if these people have like never seen any movies ever, but like when the government has leverage over you, that's how they control you. They literally have Kim.com by the balls. They tell him to bark and he barks like the little slave dog that he is. They have his money. They give him his own money. They confiscated it all. And just to be clear, he can't do anything or say anything because if he were to ever try to sue me, I would win and I would take all his money. I would take all his money. Let's just go full screen for a second. He has no credibility. He's a literal career criminal. He's never done a good thing in his entire life. He scammed everybody out of all the money he ever got, and his money's been confiscated because he's facing the rest of his life in prison. And I have him on the record defaming me as well and make up lies about me. And so I went ahead and I posted as well earlier the DMs from Kim.com that shows that I told Kim.com that the images didn't exist before 2014, before the videos. I showed him that based on what the photographer told us, and he still lied about it. He never addresses this. It's so weird that he's been obsessed with this. And I don't take any pride in taking down Kim.com. I mean, to me, he's just another fat fucking loser on the internet or whatever. And it's kind of sad that people hold him in some kind of high regard or whatever like that, because like he's never done anything beneficial to society in his entire life, right? But he tricks people because he pretends to be this like anti-government, anti-establishment. I'm revealing the biggest conspiracy ever, and he's trying to go to bat to protect the government to save his own ass. Just keep that in mind, chat. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to pull up real quick. Yeah, Kim should really focus on his health because, like, people that are fat like that, they die really young, man. Like, he might have less than 10 years left to go, and he's going to spend the rest of that in prison. Like, it's clear that he's been off the internet because he's trying to work a deal with the government to save his own ass. It's pretty obvious, right? It's pretty obvious. I don't blame him. If I was a scumbag piece of shit like Kim.com is, I would be trying to save my own ass too. I would be trying to turn on people probably too. And I mean, maybe I wouldn't because I'm not just a horrible monster of a human being and not an enemy of humanity, like he is. But, I can't blame him. I can't blame him. He's trying to save his own ass. He's trying to do what he's got to do, guys. Don't body shame him. I mean, this is the thing about being fat. Like, it is a personal choice, man. Go work out. Eat less food. I see a lot of people that are fat out there. No offense to people that are, but let's be honest. It's a you problem, right? Like, it's not a situation where, like, I just have no control over it. It's like, yeah, exhibit self-control. Don't eat the second double cheeseburger, Like, 99.9% of the time when I see people that are obese, it's 100% due to their diet. It's really just that simple. It's due to their diet, due to lack of basic exercise. So, okay, I'm not going to rip on fat people anymore because that's not really what I'm trying to do about all this, and I don't have anything against them. And also, just for the record, I'm 100% about making America healthy again. I saw that MAHA or whatever it is. Bruh, we have to stop eating fast food every time. If you eat fast food every day, even if you eat fast food more than like a couple times a week, like you are taking years off your life. Like you got to stop with that. Okay, that's not the point of this. So I'm going to go ahead and just show the videos. And I want to go show people these videos are real, man. You have to be like out of your mind to think when you look at the evidence, you have to be out of your mind to think these videos are not real. These are obviously US surveillance videos that were leaked on the internet. That's what every aspect of them says. There's no such thing as fake infrared and fake thermal videos that are portraying a whole story about the plane. They have coordinates in the bottom left. This is clearly a software that somebody is logged into. Like you can just tell from the coordinates and the way the coordinates shift in the bottom left. This is not a VFX production. There's no reference for this anywhere on the internet. No one would even be able to come up with this. No one could have even come up with a story that makes sense with these videos. So that's the reason why I made the 2 different explainer videos, because I want people to see, like, A, I'm the expert on these videos. No one knows more about these videos than me. And I don't mean that from a cocky perspective, but I see a lot of people try to talk about the videos, and I can tell right away the things they say that are correct or the things that they say that are not quite correct. And that's fine. I don't demand purity and what have you, and people are allowed to believe whatever they want. I'm just happy the videos are getting attention. But I made those explainer videos to show, like, guys, nobody has more knowledge about this plane than me. When it came to the Candace Owens interview, keep this in mind, guys. I did that interview 2.5 hours with no notes, just off the top of my head, everything. Okay. So there were a few things that we're going to end up talking about as well that did not get discussed, which I think are pretty active. Some of these are pretty huge, chat. And I'm going to repeat a couple of the ones from last night as well. Because truthfully, there's so much evidence that these videos are real that it just becomes completely undeniable. Completely undeniable. This video, 100% impossible to fake. 100% impossible. And when I say impossible, why do I say that? Just this, what you see right there, no chance. No chance anybody's faking this. The guy, I'm gonna just highlight. I posted this in the assessment of the videos. Here it is. This VFX, where is it? Is this the wrong one? Oh yeah, this one. Okay. Okay. Vasilios Kontodimas. He's a Greek, obviously. That's a Greek name. He says, "My apologies. I had to laugh. Seriously, people thought you could do this in 2D software. Those debunkers have literally zero idea how procedural shaders are assigned or their constraint relations within the geometry." Specifically, what he's talking about is what you see here with the orbs spinning around and the heat signatures on the orbs. Like, that is super, super difficult to fake, because why would you even put that heat signature on there? And hey, everybody who's just jumped in here, thank you very much for jumping in the live stream. We're going to get to the emails. I want to go over a little bit of this stuff first. We'll save some of the email stuff for in a minute. So, not to bait you guys in, we are going to go over the Jack Sarfatti emails. I want you guys to see how nutty and boomer this guy is. It's crazy. I don't even do email. I've got, no joke, guys, just to get you guys excited for this. I'm counting right now. Actually, I'm just going to take a screenshot so you guys can see how many emails this dude has sent me. Like, this dude is sitting in front of his email 24/7, spamming emails to people. Like, this is actually crazy. And I'll reveal Jack Sarfatti's email so that you can message him if you guys want, since he seems to want to. I never asked for any emails on Jack or anything like that. If you guys want, I'm sure he would love your emails. I mean, this guy clearly has, like, I don't think there's anything I'm revealing. Whatever, I don't care. Look at how many emails. I'll go to the other view so you guys can see better. Look at how just today alone, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different email chains just today alone from Jack Sarfatti. 6 different email chains. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Look at how many emails this is from this guy. Ashton Forbes is a Looney Tune. Anyone who takes him seriously is very naive. Look at all this shit he's sending. What is this, bro? What is this? What the hell? He'd be more funny if he wasn't such, like, a boomer. Like, what is wrong with this guy, chat? Anyway, okay, let's go back to this video. So yeah, so the drone video, like, nobody's faking this, man. Nobody's faking this video. No chance. And this is why what you're going to find out as well is that the debunkers, I wondered right away. It was weird to me because a week after these videos got popular, they started attacking this zap right here that you're about to see. They attacked this. And they got fed a fake VFX that doesn't match, that was similar enough that they were able to lie to the world and pretend like it was an exact match. And they've said this. They've lied. Debunkers have lied about these videos like at least a dozen times. Like, verifiable lies, like at least a dozen times. Oh, you want me to play the Jack Sarfatti clip? Yeah, we'll play that too. In a second. And they attacked the zap, and I wonder, why were they attacking the zap? and I realized there's two reasons why they decided to attack the Zap. One, because the Zap was the most unbelievable part of the videos when the plane just disappears. But the other part is they knew there was no way to debunk these videos. They knew that this video that I just showed you is undebunkable, it's unrecreatable. They knew that. So their response was to try to attack one frame or a certain aspect of the videos that would get people to ignore it. Why would the video be difficult to fake? That's a great question. Somebody else posted, but for the most part, you would have to know about assets that nobody knew about at the time. These videos are 10 years old. No one knew anything about our surveillance capabilities. They certainly didn't know what kind of cameras the drones are using. In fact, debunkers claimed that even now, in 2024, 2023, the debunkers claimed that drones don't have this capability. This is 9 years later. So 9 years ago, no, we didn't even know that the government used FLIR footage unless you were in the military. So first requirement is you'd have to know about military assets that only people in the military knew about. Additionally, when you see this plane fly, this is a real Boeing 777 flying. That's a real Boeing 777. That's not a model. That's a real Boeing 777 showing the real capabilities of a Boeing 777 turning while in descent. The analysis has been done. So now you need to be an engineer of aerospace engineer in order to be able to get this right. And this is where the Top Gun Maverick VFX lead posted on Reddit and said that this is really impressive because when they made Top Gun Maverick, the major blockbuster, they had to basically use movie magic in order to get the movement of the plane correct because you have to scale it down. You have to scale it down. So in order to get the movement and capabilities of the planes correct, it's extremely difficult. So right away, we already have two requirements that have nothing to do with VFX. And then the third requirement is the physics. You have to understand the physics of these orbs. These are exotic vacuum objects as explained by Ken Shoulders. So now you've got to be an aficionado of EVOs and Ken Shoulders' work and potentially Eric Davis and Hal Puthoff's work as well. Because all the physics we see here is explained by zero-point energy. These videos are going to prove that our current understanding of general relativity is flawed and that it's explained by zero-point energy. And that's why we see these dark lines in front of the orbs. You literally cannot come up with this idea of putting dark lines in front of the orbs unless you know about the idea of zero-point energy and negative energy. Now, so that's three reasons already. The fourth reason why it's impossible to fake these videos is because of what you're seeing here. Look at this orb. This orb is accurately being occluded or occluding the background, even as it goes over the plane. And when they come out behind the plane, they go through this smoke trail. And they go past behind and in front of this smoke trail, and you actually see accurate distortion as well from that happening, which means we're looking at a 100% real event here. We're not looking at somebody made a bunch of frames. Not to mention in the middle, this smoke coming out. Look at the heat signature of the smoke. Look how it accurately morphs. This is not VFX. Somebody didn't frame by frame make this heat distortion here in the middle of this plane. So these are the reasons why no 0% chance, not possible to be faked. This is why the Corridor crew gave up right away because they are, they've done fake videos and stuff like that. They realized right away when they saw this video that they had no chance of recreating it. For the Corridor crew, who probably has millions of dollars, basically unlimited budget, they gave up after less than 5 seconds of not being able to recreate the video. Less than 5 seconds. Do you think any random one person, that's a studio of people that run a YouTube channel that have, I don't know how many, they're not actually VFX artists. They just hire VFX artists to do the work. Like Nico is not a VFX artist. He's just a fucking fraud and a liar, right? 100%. I've already caught him in like 8 lies. If he were to try to sue me, I'd take all the Corridor crew's money. I'd take their YouTube channel. I'd take all their shit. They're all frauds and liars. And I have absolute proof and I would absolutely destroy them in the court of law. So, and then the Zap at the end, the endothermic event. Guys, this is the first ever, this is the only ever endothermic event ever anywhere in sci-fi, in fiction, in real movies. There is nothing like this, period. There's nothing like that. So these videos literally just cannot be faked. There's no reference for them. So now you also have to be like this genius writer to come up with this whole story of how this video somehow fits with a real missing plane. And then you have to have precognition and you have to know that we would never find the plane, not even 10 years later. Because if we found the plane, we could have found the plane, in 2015. If we found the plane at the bottom of the ocean, then these videos are obviously fake. They wouldn't make any sense anymore. But we didn't. We never found the plane. Okay. So I just want to do a couple shout outs here. Flimsy Greenberg, great interview action. Candace was impressed. I was impressed. The American people were impressed. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, man. Truthfully, I didn't think it went that well. But, you know, when I watched it, I was actually much more impressed than when I like thought about it later on that next day or whatever. I wasn't sure if it was going to come off that great. Goes to show that I underestimated my own skill set on that front. Next one. Love how hardcore you are with this. Relentless. Yeah, I'm not letting these people get away with this shit. No. I am not letting them get away with this. I'm not letting them gaslight people with fake debunk attempts. That's not happening. So just if you're out there and you're watching, you think you're going to pull it off, nothing. The only way they're going to be able to get this to go away is if they somehow create some like they would have to do an elaborate thing now at this point. They would have to come up with somebody who's going to be a fake hoaxer. They would have to come up with other versions of the videos. They would have to come up with a story as to why this person hadn't come forward for $150,000. Like, it's just too late for that. It's just too late. Their best bet, in my opinion, would be to try to teleport the plane, if they still have it, into the bottom of the ocean in the South Indian Ocean. Because if they try to crash it there, it's going to break up into a million pieces. People are going to find it. And they're going to realize that it just crashed there in 2024. The problem with them putting the plane in the bottom of the ocean at this point is that it needs to have 240 bodies in it, 239 bodies in it. And it needs to have been down there in the ocean decaying for 10 years. And it needs to have black boxes that tell this story of a suicidal pilot, which it's not going to do. They're never going to find the plane. They're just never going to find the plane. It's that simple, right? And it's crazy to me that I sometimes see comments where people are like, you're going to look so stupid when they find the plane. I'm like, bro, what year do you think it is? What year? If this was 2015, 2014, and you said that, maybe. You're going to look so dumb when they find the plane. It's 2024. They searched twice for 3 years and found nothing at all. Nothing, not one piece of the plane. They're going to search in November, and they're going to find nothing again. And then people are going to go, they're going to start, and I'm going to go, look, I told you they were going to find nothing. And people are going to go, yeah, they're going to find it. It's like the Titanic. They're going to find it. Get out of here. The Titanic? That was 100 years ago. And we ended up finding the Titanic because of advanced technical equipment. Okay, let's see what else we got. No, you have to know Ken Shoulders' work, Jeremy. Like, those plasma orbs are EVOs. Like, they're not just Bob Grenier. You have to know about magnetic monopoles, right? And for Bob Grenier's argument, which is also true. We had no experimental scientific papers showing magnetic monopoles, but they simulated them in the Aalto University paper in 2014. And but Ken Shoulders, if you look at Ken Shoulders' permittivity transitions, like, that paper explains everything about the orbs, and that's from 2000. That's why I say you'd have to like be the hoaxer would have to have been some kind of aficionado of Ken Shoulders' work, which his work was so niche. Nobody knew about that. Nobody was on plasma orbs in 2014. And now people are starting to wake up to it, which I love, because the science being real is going to make these videos undeniable. When it turns out that we actually can make orbs like that, and they actually have the properties where we can make a wormhole with the orbs by jamming them together, it's going to be undeniable. Let me do a couple other quick. Let me make sure I hit everybody. Spider, thank you very much. Watched all 2 hours. You know, this is the part that I love, guys. There's two things I really love that's been going on. One is that people are watching a 2.5-hour interview. I had people messaging me being like, I stayed up like all night watching your interview because it was crazy. Because yes, once you listen to all the evidence, you're like, holy shit. You're like, something happened here, like 100%. Like, even if you don't believe those videos are real because it's just too hard to believe, you still got to realize, like, the government knows, no doubt, 100% exactly what happened to this plane. Why would they be denying FOIA requests into a civilian airliner that disappeared? The only reason is that they're covering something up. That's the only reason. Thank you, brother. We Are the Change. Appreciate you. You've been following along a lot. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we're dropping moist facts right now. Another donation from We Are the Change. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Guys, I don't know about the survivors and all that. Like, I'm not psychic. So a lot of people, like, you figure out something like this, and then everybody's like, whoa, what are the lottery numbers for next week? Right? I'm not psychic. I don't know. I can only deduce based on what we've got hard evidence for. Like, we've got 2 videos, we've got corroborating witnesses, we've got uh communications that were intercepted by China of the US Navy. Like, we've got so much evidence, chat. So much. So, where are they? Where's the plane? Presumably Diego Garcia. In fact, there was a post on Twitter that I'll read to you guys here as well. And in fact, we're going to come back to this Pepper Zolan. We're going to come back to this Pepper Zolan video. This dude crazy. Jeremy, man, if you don't get this guy to make you clips before me, I'm gonna get him to make me clips. Dude, he's too funny. Okay, so this is from Resource Wars. I'm just going to read it to you guys. Resource Wars _ if you want to find them on Twitter. Resource Wars can exclusively reveal our team met with an air traffic controller working at Singapore Changi Airport. That's the real airport in Singapore. Following MH370's disappearance. In addition to handling civilian air traffic at Changi, he also coordinated military air traffic in our Paya Lebar Air Base. I don't know what that is. A facility in Singapore used by the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy. This individual told us the entire Changi air traffic control staff went to work trying to unlock the mystery and came to the private conclusion that the missing Boeing 777 jet ended up in Diego Garcia. It did not crash. He unfortunately refused to go on camera and tell his story for fear of losing his job. Needless to say, there's a lot more discussion off the record, very credible people about what happened to MH370 than is ever discussed publicly. The official version of events is not viewed as legitimate. And if you think that was fake or something like that, keep in mind, I believe it was Florence DeChangi that said something similar to that as well. I had heard that story before. It's crazy. Here we go. I think it's hilarious you kids talking shit about Ashton. You wouldn't say that shit to him on a plane. He's jacked. Not only that, but he wears the freshest clothes, eats at the chillest restaurants, and hangs out with the hottest dudes. Y'all are pathetic. LOL. Perfect, man. I love that pasta, bro. I love that pasta. Richard Feynman. I posted the letter. From Richard Feynman to Ken Shoulders, apologizing to Ken Shoulders, saying that your physics was legit. Richard Feynman. Imagine getting an apology letter from Richard Feynman, the man who said there's enough energy in this bottle of apple juice to vaporize all the Earth's oceans. Wow. If Richard Feynman apologized to you, you got to take a hard look at Ken Shoulders' work, man. We're going to find out very soon that plasma is the secret to a lot of this technology. And just for the record, guys, there can still be aliens. I'm not against aliens. There can still be flying saucers, maybe, whatever. I don't know. I'm not disclosing that. I'm not saying that's real or fake. I'm just saying we 100% have balls of plasma that are probably, we can see like balls of light as with them. They have anti-gravitic properties. They can extract energy from the ether, from the vacuum, whatever you want to call it. They can transmute elements. I mean, this is just straight up magic. This is what the letter to Ashton Forbes wanted me to know. The letter to Ashton Forbes wanted me to know that we have balls of plasma that are magic. And that's why they wanted me to find Randall Carlson. I don't think that they're going to plant a Boeing 777 in the ocean. I think their best bet at this point is they realize the gig is up, and it's just a matter of hanging on as long as possible for like some of these people to die off so they don't never face criminal charges or civil liability. But they know that what's going to happen is like some UFO videos are going to get declassified, leaked on the internet, and they're going to corroborate what we see in the MH370 videos, because that technology is not going away. There's no way to like move away from plasma orb technology, so it's going to get corroborated. The AI is going to figure it out as well, and maybe in the next 5 years, AI is getting really powerful. And so like what Jeremy's saying is like we are close to a breakthrough, and AI is going to figure it out, even if they try to keep suppressing it. And it's like what Max Planck said: science advances one funeral at a time. Sadly, that's the case because nobody's willing to ever admit that they're wrong. Every scientist in history has thought that their science was unimpeachable, that it couldn't be proven wrong, and every single time they've been proven wrong. Every single time. Where was the last donation, chat? Why is my donation thing not showing up here? I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Like, what? I can't get the donation thing to show up. Let me mess with this real quick. So whoever did the last donation, I'm sorry, for some reason StreamYard isn't popping up. And I can't see the donation things. Maybe if I do this? Nope. Weird. I can't see the donation things. That's super annoying, chat. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can do anything about that. Okay, I'll try to keep it. So for anybody who donates again, thank you very much. I'll try to make sure I get you up here. Okay. Let's close. Let's screen share that. Okay, I want to show. Let's have a little bit more fun here before we get going. We are gonna troll some people too. Like people say, "Hey, Ashton, the people don't like you because you're cocky or whatever other shit like that." Yeah, I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't care at all. Part of this as well was I've never pretended to be some savior of all the people to give all this stuff away. I just want the truth for MH370, no matter what that takes. And the only reason why I am a dick to people. Oh, hey, Emily. Hi. The only reason why I'm a dick to people is because they were huge dicks to me. What you'll find is that if you are a nice person to me, I am never going to be rude to you. If you act like a dickhead, if you act condescending to me, you're going to get it right back. So all these people that claim you blocked me for no reason. No, that's never the case. Never the case. No one's getting blocked for no reason. And so what I wanted to teach people is a very powerful lesson, which is fuck your feelings. Facts do not care about your feelings. We've reached a point where people are so up in their feels now, where it doesn't even matter what you tell them if it's true or false. It depends on if they like you or not. You see it in politics and social issues and every aspect of our civilization today. And that is what holds us back more than anything. And you see it all the time in the UFO community. In the UFO community, it's all about, oh, this guy has an experience that validates my feelings. Like literally all the time. This guy saw a telepathic alien and I got molested by a telepathic alien. So this guy's validating my experience, my feelings. So I'm gonna appreciate them. Or like the Patrick Jackson guy with his orb stuff. He's just making up bullshit out of nowhere, out of nothing, no sources, nothing. You ask him, where did you come up with your theory? He's like, well, I was a ghost hunter. What do you mean you were a ghost hunter? How does that come up with a theory of AI orbs defending us, defending the planet? But people eat it up. They eat it up because it validates, it validates their feelings. When you tell them, oh, we teleported a plane away and we're horrific, and here's all the evidence and a mountain of evidence for it, and you break it down piece by piece, make it undeniable, they reject every single thing you say. They reject all the evidence that you say, and they just go back, I don't like you. Okay, whatever, man. I don't really care. I'm not trying to be liked by people, chat. So, what up? What up, Billy? So the lesson I'm trying to teach people here is that we need to be a lot less in our own feelings and a lot more about logic and reason and facts. And you can hate somebody and they can still make a valid point. Like that, we've moved away from that. 40 years ago, 30 years ago, we used to argue, I will disagree with you, but I will defend your right to say it. We used to say that all the time. And now in the 90s, now we've moved away from that. And now it's like, you hurt my feelings. Now you're a terrible person. You get all these people that are like, I feel like people in my comments and the replies being like, well, do you agree with Candace Owens that we didn't go to the moon and that, the Jews are the worst people or whatever and all this other stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, why do I have to agree with her on all that stuff? I don't have to agree with Candace Owens to talk to her. I don't have to agree with her on all that. She's an open-minded person, an open-minded woman who's willing to listen to a pretty incredible story that almost nobody else is willing to listen to or acknowledge. Of course I'm going to talk to her. What the hell? See? I'm a dweeb. Sure, whatever. I don't care. Okay. Yeah, it actually literally is because of Reddit upvoting and downvoting. Like literally it's because of that. It's literally because of this. That is what's caused this, because it becomes now about consensus. The upvote downvote thing was like the worst thing that ever happened to society. Because now it's like, oh, I need to know if I agree. If something's upvoted, then I should adjust my perceptions to agree with the upvoted thing. And if it's downvoted, that person's bad. Like they literally use upvoted and downvotes like a weapon. And this is how they literally brainwash and control our minds. Like literally. So when the people talk about like MK Ultra and all that stuff, I used to think that was nonsense. And now I go, oh no, it's 100% real. They're doing it in a subtle way, which people don't even realize. It's happening to all you guys in the chat as well, all across social media, which is why you need to be open to multiple perspectives of things. And you need to say, well, even if I like this person, maybe they're not saying the truth all the time. And maybe if I don't like this person, they can say the truth. You should judge things based on the facts, based on the evidence. Okay, let's see what else we got here. There's some more questions. I saw somebody just do a donation. I don't want to miss it. Thank you, aka Blake Stone. Appreciate that. Could the thermal video have been real, but with the ink blot added to misinform? No, not really. People try to make this argument, but the biggest counter argument is, where's the plane? Where's the plane? What are they misinforming about? There's no plane. The problem is that's showing a teleportation event, or if you believe annihilation event or whatever, but there's no plane. And then who would be doing that? The U.S. government? They're doing it to their own video. That's a U.S. military video. So in this scenario where they're adding ink, they actually used to argue it was an ink blot before the VFX comparison. Debunkers were claiming that it was actually an ink blot. Literally, I mean that. If you go back to the old Reddit posts, and this goes to show how dishonest they were just looking for anything they could rationalize away as being close enough. This is how debunkers are just so stupid. They're going, oh, it's an ink blot. They literally said that. But what they're implicating themselves. The U.S. government took their own footage, and what the plane? Where's the plane? They flew it to Diego Garcia and they added an ink blot. What does that do? And then they leaked the videos on the internet. Doesn't make any sense. They're implicating themselves. This is the biggest problem with, like, I would love if the answer was the government planted these videos on the internet so that as like some sort of misinformation or some sort of psyop. I would love for that to make sense. But it doesn't, because they would just be implicating themselves. It's like if you are the killer and you killed somebody, you don't go make a video of you shooting them when you actually stabbed them. Like you're pointing all the evidence right at yourself, right? So it's a good thought. It just doesn't make any sense. I really wish it did, chat. Really wish it did. I wish that there was a much easier answer. Heck, I wish that it was just cloaking. I wish I could be like, yeah, they just cloaked the plane. People would be able to buy into cloaking. I'd be like, they cloaked the plane and then they remote controlled it to Diego Garcia. And there were some rumors that those engineers were working on cloaking, but the thing is, cloaking is like actually teleportation. Like if you cloak all the electromagnetic signatures based on the 0-point energy model, you are actually just you're creating a wormhole. Like when you're actually shielding all the electromagnetic fields. That's what's crazy about it. Is like you're actually just creating a wormhole. This is why I say that the cloaking thing, because that's what they did with the Philadelphia experiment. They were actually trying to cloak the ship and they ended up teleporting it. Because we live in a holographic universe. So if you actually shield all the electromagnetic fields, like you're performing like a magic trick, an optical illusion. It's crazy. I can't believe, Jeremy, I saw some of the Reddit comments. I happened upon that thread yesterday, and they were hating on you and Crypto on Bernie. It's like, they were loving it too. They're like, Jack Sarfatti saw a 4K alien. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, if you validate their feelings, they love it. Jack Sarfatti's 100% full of shit. 100% full of shit. And I just showed you guys all these spam emails that he's pushing out to like 50 different people that are out there. Most of them never respond. But you know, they love it because they're just no evidence. You're just telling them something they want to hear. They'll eat it up, you know? And this is why, to Jeremy's point, like why he hasn't got much traction, because nobody cares about the science. Nobody cares about the science. That's the sad part. That's the sad part, chat. Okay, let's dig into a little bit of evidence and let's go through some emails, chat. Actually, let's do an email and then let's go to some of the other stuff as well. Yeah, and people are like, well, he's a physicist, so he must know. Jack Sarfatti has never been on any black projects in his entire life, chat. Not one. Not one. He claims to have got a psychic phone call from the future. Tell me my lottery numbers, Jack. Jesus Christ. You have to go back to the live stream if you want to see the Kim.com dance, guys, from yesterday. It's out there. You can check it out. They were so mad at they were so mad at Jeremy because he wasn't taking Jack Sarfatti at face value. They were literally mad at Jack Sarfatti or at Jeremy because he wasn't taking, because Jeremy knows Jack Sarfatti just talks a bunch of bullshit. And they were like, why are these interviewers not asking him serious questions about his 4K alien video that he claims to have seen? You're like, dude, Jack Sarfatti's handled by Ron Pandolfi, like the most legendary CIA spook that's out there. He's being fed disinfo to feed to other people. If you still think that what Jack Sarfatti has to say is true, like, wait till I show you all these boomer emails he sends out, man. This is crazy. Amanda, love you too. Okay, so let's start with the emails. Man, I couldn't believe all these people on these emails, man. Oh, another donation. Wow, we are the change. Thank you. And I don't play any mobile games. I don't play any video games at the moment. I sometimes play a few minutes of Minecraft here and there. I don't know why I like that game. Not very good though. Okay. I'm super far behind on the messages. Okay. Ben Foil Hat. Spruce pine provided quartz for superconductors around the world. It was destroyed by Helene. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people want me to mention the hurricane stuff. Okay, guys, if you watch any of Tom Bearden stuff, you know that scalar physics allows for directed energy weapons. The whole point is exactly what Tesla told us 100 years ago, is that you can create longitudinal waves through the ether. If you have two longitudinal waves and you have them perfectly out of phase with one another and they cancel each other out, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. So what does that mean? That means that they're sending a potential through the ether, longitudinal wave through the ether. And I would argue, and this is where I asked David Chester some pretty simple questions, like, how do you explain that the military can transmit energy wirelessly with almost no loss, with near perfect efficiency? How is that possible? Energy falls off by the inverse square law when you transmit it wirelessly, which means you shouldn't be able to transmit energy from this point to this point and very far distances, because the energy should degrade. The efficiency should be very poor. So how is that possible? I actually want somebody to answer that question. So I hope I get a good answer to that question, because the only thing I can come up with is you use scalar potentials, just like Tom Bearden said, to allow the energy to basically disappear from this point and reappear over at this point. That's what Tom Bearden said that we could do, using scalar interferometry, having your scalar potentials, those beams, intersect at a distance, because then the interference and the constructive and deconstructive interference allows you to produce energy or extract energy at a different distance. He called it cold explosions, right? Yeah, now they're trying this new thing. We're going to pull up the emails here in a second. They're trying this new thing about Ashton's a Fed. Ashton's a Fed. I mean, and yeah, and I'm supporting the people like Jeremy, who are the people that are digging in the science. So we're getting like a new awakening to people that are interested in the science, because the people are realizing it's not just nonsense. There's actually like merit to it. These flies are going to make me go crazy, chat. I shouldn't have left my window open. So, and this is also helping out the UFO community, because even if you believe in aliens, whatever. So scalar interferometry allows us to produce directed energy weapons. Definitely, this is why Lockheed Martin has a whole thing about directed energy weapons. So if directed energy weapons are possible, then of course we can manipulate the weather. We can manipulate the weather. We can manipulate the ionosphere. We can manipulate the weather. The question is, can you control the weather? Can you control it? So we can manipulate the weather. We can potentially, like, if I were to really speculate, totally speculative here. You could probably reduce or attempt to reduce the strength of a storm or increase the strength of a storm. You could theoretically try to guide the direction of a storm, but I don't think you're like controlling the weather. Like, I don't think you're going to produce a hurricane out of nowhere. But maybe, I'm not the expert on that stuff. So that's my opinion when it comes to weather manipulation. This is why I follow people like Into Thin Air and Dutch Sense, who does earthquake predictions, because it's the same thing with earthquakes. Like, if you have this piezoelectric force that's building up between your tectonic plates, if you beam a bunch of energy into there, you might be able to induce an earthquake that was about to happen. You might even be able to strengthen an earthquake as well. And so this is the stuff where it's like, if you know that that's possible, then theoretically it should be possible to try to predict that, where that's going to happen. I don't know how accurate you're going to be, but you can try. And with weather stuff as well, like, I would definitely, like, when Into Thin Air is looking at like the next rad radars and stuff like that. Oh, is it all about impedance matching? That's interesting. Yeah, I remember the impedance matching. Maybe that can pull it off. I'll have to check that out. Good point. Good point, Jeremy. So with the next rad radars, like, I would definitely be staring at them, because what people don't realize about the radars is that they can transmit energy as well. They're not just detecting mechanisms, because they're shooting electromagnetic waves, and those waves are bouncing off of things and then coming back to them. That's how they're determining where something is. So you're just literally shooting beams of energy at stuff. So of course, you have to look at radar for what it really is. And then you realize when you look at some of these crystals that they have that can cause like a phase conjugate crystal and stuff like that, you're like, oh, wow, you can really manipulate those beams to do some pretty complex stuff. And, we've had these radars for forever. So of course, I'm sure that we can, do some pretty crazy things like shoot planes out of the sky and stuff like that. But yeah, the narrative about Ashton being a Fed is completely nutso. Like, obviously they're trying as hard as they can, whatever. Like, Feds don't like, you're never going to see a spook like me who's just like on doing live streams, talking to everybody that's out there, speaking candidly with no notes, implicating the government in the biggest conspiracy ever, explaining the science in extreme detail. That's not what spooks do, man. It's not what they do at all. Instead, what they do is they avoid questions they can't answer. They obfuscate. They lie intentionally, and they don't even care when they get caught in lies, like Kim.com. Like, Kim.com gets caught in a lie and he just doesn't address it, never says anything, just doubles down on his lie. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's what a spook does. That's what somebody who's like an informant or a rat or a Fed does as well. And my opinion is that people like Ron Pandolfi, that's what people like Ron Pandolfi do, right? They're trying to mislead you. They're trying to be your friend and then give you faulty information. So they'll give you a little bit of good information, and then they'll give you some fake information to throw you off once you trust them, So that's why I don't trust anybody. Give a shout out to Ashton's future wife, Chaotic Good, for doing amazing work with the hurricane victims. Yeah, I mean, she's cute. But yeah, I saw the stuff she's been doing. It looks like she's trying to help out the hurricane victims. I wish I had more on-hand cash to donate, but I do not at the moment, unfortunately. But yeah, if you guys want to help out the hurricane victims, like, they need help, man. Like, if this story about FEMA not giving, like, running out of money because they gave money to immigrants or whatever, or like refugees and stuff like that is true, then that's just messed up. That's really messed up. So I hope that's not true. I haven't really looked into much of that, though. Okay, I'm going to ask Grok about the beaming energy, because I'm very curious about that. But it goes to show, too, that you have to be an electrical engineer and a physicist to really, I think, understand the universe correctly, in my opinion. I also think you need to understand the history of the science to understand how they've been keeping this stuff suppressed for as long as they've been keeping it suppressed. A lot of this technology is decades old. I mean, realize they teleported a plane 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Yeah, if you could see the future, would you tell anybody? I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not sure about time travel yet, guys. I'm really not sure. I don't think Eric Hecker is a psyop at all. At all. I talked to him personally. He does not come across as somebody who's being misleading. He was very forthright with information with me. He even told me more information offline. I mean, he talked about with me offline about like these skiffs that he goes into, and he's like, it looked like just a normal building that like you might go to see your dentist, and then you go downstairs in the basement, and now there's this like, you know, container truck there that's like, oh, the whole place is secure, and there's people with armed guards, and you're like, holy shit, that sounds about right. I don't even care if people thought I was a spook or an agent. I wouldn't care at all as long as people, if as long as we tell the truth about MH370. That's all I care about. Okay, so let's get. Oh man, I'm so far behind in messages. Holy crap. Okay, guys, if you want to know where the people went, you got to watch the interviews and stuff like that. Diego Garcia chat. So let's just troll a little bit more. I'm working on this, the Ashton Forbes apology form. Ashton Forbes apology form, chat. We're getting ready for it. I haven't decided what we're gonna put in here. We're gonna block out some of these. We're probably gonna have like I didn't believe in sciences be one of these as well. I was jealous of his popularity. You know, we're gonna add in some good stuff in here. Yeah, we're gonna make this Ashton Forbes apology form. So that'll probably be done in a couple days. I have to think up some funny stuff. I was looking for the Nick Fuentes one to see if there was some funny stuff on there as well. I was mad that he was getting more attention than me. I was upset that he figured out disclosure than me, etc. So it should be good. Any updates on the free energy company you partnered with? Everybody has been asking about this generally, so I will give a quick update on this. I don't. It's annoying because I get asked all the time about it. Truth, the number one fact is that I'm too busy. Number one fact is I'm too busy for it. Working 9 to 5, trying to do social media as well. We did a bunch of calls with people, and like it's like sales job where it's like, you're trying to sell something to somebody, but also you now have to get through this roadblock of people thinking it's not real, which a lot of the people we talked to were open-minded about it. But man, it's just a lot of calls that we were setting up to get it off the ground. And I decided as well, one thing I realized is that going about it in the way that I did in a very public way is not the right way to go about it and do it. The better way to do it is to do it quietly behind the scenes with people that are already open-minded about it. Because otherwise it's too much. Because the other thing too is that the person I was working with, which I mean is already out there, is Dave Rossi, who I was working with on it. Didn't feel comfortable showing a full demonstration publicly, and that's his choice. And I agreed with him. I talked to him about it, and I agree with him. And for that reason, especially after I saw like the Liberty engine and the other magnetic motor, what I can say is our magnetic motor is a variation of the magnetic motor that I showed on stream, which it itself was kind of a variant of the Haddam engine motor as well. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar to that. And since he didn't feel comfortable showing it a lot, showing it like we'd have to show like everything, and you have to show not just the front end, but you also have to show the back end. That's what people don't really understand. It's more than just the front. You can't just hook a bunch of like motors and alternators up to a battery or a capacitor and just like expect to get over unity. It takes a little bit more than that. So without showing everything and explaining everything in excruciating detail, which he didn't feel comfortable with and I didn't feel comfortable with, then you're always going to have people saying that's not real, that's not fake, I don't understand that, blah, blah, blah. And after I showed the Liberty engine thing, I was sure that was the case. This is the question we're asking here. Because the Liberty engine, these people are like, and this is the other thing too, is that the Liberty engine guys, I believe are 100% legit. I don't really endorse people, but I think they're 100% legit. They're wearing gloves. They're afraid to show who they even are and their identity. And the reason is because they know the history of people that have tried to show that free energy is real. They know what happens, not good things. And those people had seemingly stolen some proprietary technology, potentially related to the stator or something like that. I don't know, or the alloy of the rotor. But those people went so far as to drive out into the middle of nowhere by the side of the road and have their device powering a computer, a water pump. What else was it powering, chat? And 2 power tools, which these things take pretty significant amount of energy to run. And people still thought they like buried a power line underneath the ground or something like that, which goes to show you one very important fact. It doesn't matter at all if you show a video of your product. There's always going to be people saying you're hiding something underneath the table, you're hiding a power cord, you're doing movie magic, you got a battery going on, whatever. Like there's a bazillion excuses. And then what they'll do is they will, and here's the scariest part. Even when it works 100% real, they will still have people make debunk videos about you and claim that it's fake, not because they looked at it, but just because they'll say it violates the laws of thermodynamics. Even though it doesn't, because if there is this ether of energy, then you're not violating conservation because you're pulling that energy out of the ether. So conservation is not violated. And the second law of thermodynamics is not violated either, just like you're not violating the second law of thermodynamics with the windmill. The windmill is pulling wind out of nature. That's the only way it works. The same way where any type of free energy device, plasma, magnetic motors, pulling energy out of the ether. Pulling energy out of the ether. So it's like, do you really want to deal with that? Not really. So for the people that say you kind of made a mistake going about it publicly, I would say you're probably right. You're probably right. I probably shouldn't have gone around it publicly. Probably shouldn't have done that. And so now my focus is I'm going to show people and explain people the science of 0-point energy, explain how it's possible, explain how it's real, explain how a magnetic motor can work, explain how plasma can extract energy, and explain how the Casimir effect, Casimir cavities, there's so many different ways to do it. Because what's going to happen is when people realize it's real and possible, it's going to be a gold rush. It's going to be like the marijuana legalization where everybody wants to figure out who's got the best product. And well, we got one and we're ready to go. We can build them. The other big issue with it is this, because I want you guys to understand that there's, even in a situation where you can make a literal free energy device, there's still drawbacks. And I did not know these drawbacks until I started talking with people more and more about it from the sales perspective. How do you hide that you have one of these devices? If you attach it to your house or whatever, to your grid, the energy companies wants to know why you're sending energy back to them. Which maybe you can get away with it, maybe you can't, but it's a risk. And then if you go off grid with it, you're not on the power grid. Okay, what are you doing with the excess energy? What are you doing with it? The best thing you could do with it is mine crypto. Literally, you can mine crypto, mine Bitcoin with it and use all the excess energy up. That's the best thing you could possibly do. But if you don't, then you have to have a system where you're either turning it off or you're having it charge batteries and then turn it off. Which there's ways to solve that for sure, but these are more challenges. And then you get afraid that, okay, well, now I've sold you this device. What if I sell the device to somebody who's unscrupulous? Somebody that breaks it and then they want to sue you because they say it doesn't work, or somebody that's just setting you up. Someone's just setting you up and they're willing to just lie and claim that your thing is a scam or whatever, right? Like these are real risks that you have to take into account. This is why the Liberty Engine people wear gloves when they're doing their thing. This is why they're not selling their product either. They're probably waiting around just like we are that, okay, once it's accepted that free energy is possible, then boom. And in the meantime, if there are, I wouldn't call investors, but there are people that have big projects that quietly want to do this behind the scenes, we'll talk to them. 100% we'll talk to them. Because I'd much rather work with a big person who like, they don't care how it works, just that it works. Because we can make a deal on that front. But, you know, it's a lot of issues with it. So there you go. That's a full explanation for it. I hope I don't get asked about it again. Wow, Grace Cho. Hey, man, you guys are going crazy. I got the white guy dance. There you go. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, let me see. Boy, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm like 100 messages behind. Linda Walker. Wow, thank you very much. I wanted to share this reaction. I'd highly recommend a book I read 30 years ago that helped connect the faith and the quantum world together for me, Quarks and Christianity by physicist priest Pollinghorn. Great book. Thank you very much. In fact, the interview with Pastor Steve should probably drop, and there was a lot of faith-based stuff. I even mentioned that there's no incompatibility between faith, religion, and science. There really isn't. I argue that if the holographic principle is true, then the universe itself is a construct. And if the universe is a construct, then there must be a creator. Must be a creator. Oh, and then the last thing too, guys. Yeah, if you have these devices, you can turn them off and back on. Like to turn it off, all you do is you disconnect the feed that goes from the output back into the input, and then it'll slow down and then it will stop. And then you just start it back up again. And usually you have like a battery or a capacitor connected to it so that you can get it started again. So that until it starts producing over Unity. The other part of it is though that I just literally didn't want to get killed. Like literally didn't want to get killed. Like got warned that like I was pushing it too far, and if I revealed too much information, that like we might just actually get killed. And that was probably why when you saw me delete that one Twitter post, because it was just like, sorry, that you're pushing it too far. You're pushing it too far. And all I'll say is that it seems like John Bendini was a really smart guy. That's pretty much all I'm going to say. And I know for a fact there's people in the chat and the replies in our comments right now that they have a really, really good idea of how to produce over Unity. Really good idea. I've seen people's comments. Thank you, Hound. So appreciate you. I need Lulu to eat these flies. Lulu, girl, eat the flies, Boo. I'd pick her up for you guys right now, but I know she's going to freak out. No, she's going to freak out. Okay. Let's get going on some of the goodness, though, here, guys. Oh, and what I'll say, too, is that I think it's okay to say this. I had one person reach out to me that actually, there's people out there that reproduce over Unity devices and like they know the physics and the science. And they're very interested in talking to me, like very interested. They want to meet, they want to go through the stuff. And they reproduced the Liberty engine I'm talking about. And they told me that they got it working. Like they reproduced it successfully. I'm not going to say whatever secrets they said about how they had to get it to work. But what I will say is it seems like it maybe was a little bit more than just the alloy in the rotor. Maybe a little bit more than that. And again, this is secondhand information. Take it however you want. Consider it a LARP or a story if you want. I don't care. Yeah, Truman Show is probably. You guys want to know real quick? We're gonna. I'm not gonna show Ram Pandolfi's email. I'm not gonna do that to him. But I am gonna show you what I sent to Ron Pandolfi, though. You guys are gonna love it. I think we'll probably start with that. Yeah, if they have the Holy Grail, why do they need yours? Well, the devices are all a little bit different. They're all a little bit different. And just because you produce an over Unity device doesn't mean you've got unlimited energy. There's a rate limit on whatever your devices that you produce. Some are better than the others. Like, a coefficient of performance of 3 is a lot different than a coefficient of performance of 10 or a coefficient of performance of 25 or whatever. And, of course, there would be some maintenance. Now, with a magnetic motor, I don't want to talk too much about this, but we can talk on Friday about it, Jeremy. I'll join your guys' live stream on Friday. We can talk about free energy and what have you. Happy to answer any questions that you have about it. But yeah, they don't. And then part of it's too is that like people just can't produce infinite of them. There's a whole manufacturing side that goes along with this. And if you're bold enough to have a mass manufacturing over Unity devices, well, your life expectancy is going way, way down, chat. Way, way down. Okay. What was I going to say? Did I answer these questions? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about free energy on Friday. I'm down. Okay, let's take a look at this Bob Lazar fucking email thing. This guy's. I don't think he responded. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to show you guys all of these people. Oh man, how do I do this without? I'm going to read the names for you guys, chat. I'm going to read the names for you. I can't show it because I have to black out all these emails. There's no easy way to do this. But I'll show you stuff that confirms that what I'm saying is true. So this is that is Ashton Forbes really Bob Lazar email chain. I want you guys to listen to these names that are on these email chains, okay? You've got David Chester, Ashton Forbes, Creon Levitt, I don't know who that is, Dave Rossi, Juan Fiera, Sal Paez, Frank Milborn, John Alexander, Kim Burafato, David Gladstone, John Connors, Ron Pandolfi, legendary CIA spook, David Kaiser, Professor Holland, Professor Simon Holland is on here. One that just says Lou. I don't know if that's Lou Elizondo. It just says Lou. Wouldn't surprise me if it is Lou Elizondo. Angel Diaz, Tim Ventura, Ross Colhart, Beatriz Villarroel. I don't know who that is. B. Wheeler. I don't know who B. Wheeler is. John Brandenburg. Danny Jones is on here. Chris Horn Jr. Gary Nolan. Garrett Rothenberg. Literally one that's just called Navy Intelligence. John Ramirez, CIA agent as well. Rick Doty is on here. Michael Moran. Apparently, Michael Moran was claims to have been some kind of test subject, like some X-Men or something like that. Mike McCullough is on here. Mike Turber. The Rafos Research Network is on here. Joseph Foster. Jose Rodel. Joseph Flatley. Mick West is on the email chain. I see his ugly face. John Warner IV is on here as well. The Paradigm Research Group is on here. Eric W. Davis is on this chain. It's actually that's definitely his email. David Mosier, Larry Lemke, James Breslow, James Angleton, James Woodward, James Fox is on here. Kit Green is on here. Leslie Keene, Jacques Vallée is on here. Mike Disclosure, he's got a YouTube whatever channel. Michael Perrone is on here. Chris Mellon is on here. So if you need verification, Michael Perrone is on all these emails for Jeremy and Bernie. Chris Mellon is on here. Jeremy Corbell is on here. George Knapp is on here. Holy shit, I didn't know these guys were on here. Jeremy Alien Scientist is on this chain as well. So Jeremy's on these emails as well. I mean, he's been getting this garbage. Bruce Vogel. I think that's Bob McGuire. It could be, I don't know his email. I mean, how many more are there here? Bessa Center, Fringe, Julian Gaffrey, DARPA. Literally, DARPA's email account is on here. DARPA, like the Defense Advanced Research Projects. Sharon Weinberger, Jason Giorgiani is on here. Nick Cook is on here. Simon Green, Travis Taylor, and Brandon Fugel are on here. Brandon Fugel actually replied to me on one of these things and said, like, thanks for dealing with Jack Sarfatti. Like, what? No, I'm not going to forward this to anybody, guys. I'm not going to forward this to anybody. Robert Adenall. I don't know who these people are. David Southwell, Keith Wanzer, Alan Parker, Ralph Benko, Bill Collier, Stephen Greenstreet, John Greenwalt are on here as well. Ryan Graves is on here. Kevin Knuth is on here, whatever you say, Knuth, however you say his last name. And Chris Leto. And then somebody who I don't recognize that just says D-Math. So no Weinstein, no Hassenfelder. That was the whole list. So just break down literally every single one of the controlled government disclosure people are on this list. Every single one of them. You've got Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, Ross Colhart. You got Lou Elizondo on there, Gary Nolan. Like, yeah, this list is crazy, right? Like, I saw this and I'm like, are you kidding me? We've got all these people's emails. You got DARPA on there, Navy Intelligence. You got Ron Pandolfi of the CIA on there. Even Ryan Graves is on there, chat. I mean, what the hell? Are you kidding me? You kidding me, Jack? He just reveal. So if you communicate with Jack Sarfatti, he's gonna reveal your email to everybody, to like the whole world. And he sends, like, I showed you guys the screenshot. How many emails? This dude's spamming my inbox every day. Look at all these emails he's spamming. Look at all these emails. These are all going to all of those people every single time. And why, you say, Ashton, why are you doing this? Why are you revealing this? Because I don't want to be on his fucking email chain with all these people. Just take me off of it, bro. Take me off. Hopefully this live stream teaches you a lesson to not send me all these emails and all this shit and all these people's stuff. Fortunately, most of these people are smart enough not to reply to these because they know that they could get exposed publicly very, very quickly. But some of them are not smart enough to, and some of them do reply. But I guarantee you these people are looking at these emails. We are the change. They're probably camping in your Discord. Yeah, probably. Whatever. Yeah, DARPA. Like, this is crazy. Like, yeah, Jeremy's on this. So, Jeremy, can you corroborate for everybody that this is real? Because you know, I mean, like, you look at the list, you've got the email on there. So you know that they're getting this. Yeah, is this the October surprise? So the reason why I'm bringing this up, chat, and showing the emails is because I want people to realize, like, these people are all connected. They're all talking behind the scenes. They're all talking behind the scenes. They're sharing information. They're influencing one another behind the scenes. So when you want to wonder, like, why was Danny Jones coming down so hard on me? Why are, like, you know, Julian Dory's buddies with James Fox? Because these guys are all talking to each other all the time. You should be very skeptical of the messaging that comes from people in this group because they're all connected to one another, chat. They're all connected. Ashton, and you can see what Jack Sarfatti is trying to do, right? He's trying to influence them. He's sending them stuff. Ashton Forbes is a Looney Tune. You know what? Let's read that one first. Let's go to that one first. Where's my emails? And Ashton Forbes the real Bob Lazar? So you see what they did before, where before they never said my name. They were afraid to say my name because they didn't want to give me attention. They didn't want the case to get too much attention. But now it's too late. Now I'm on Candace Owens. Now I've been on, I'm going on the Hodge twins. I was on Redacted. Now they realize there's no way you can't keep a lid on it. So now it's disinformation mode. Now it's, this guy's the Bob Lazar. He's faking his credentials. He's, you know, making stuff up or whatever. You're like, oh, you're just going to love this. You're going to love this. What is this? Somebody made a fake website, chat. Oh, no, I opened the emails. They're already spying on me, bro. They've been spying on me for a year straight. You don't think that they're in my phone? They're in my phone. They're in my computer. Bro, if they can teleport a plane, if they can plant some cloud pictures on some guy's hard drive, bro, they are watching every single thing I do. Every single thing I do. William Bill, you're a hero, brother. Although, just take it a little bit easy on the people in Twitter. I know it's easy to attack people, but, you know, let's just rise above that a little bit. You can react to people. You can troll them a little bit, but, you know, don't be super mean to people. Okay. Let's see. Did Jeremy confirm it? Yeah, Jeremy confirmed it. Yeah, exactly. So and Jeremy knows, like, you know, they talk about you, but they don't say your name publicly because these people they're managing people's perceptions. They're doing public relations crap. And I hate all that shit. I hate all of that. I hate that these people like Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp have known who I am for a year. And they are afraid to even say my name because they don't want more attention to come to me. And they know they'll lose in any public battle over the evidence, over the facts, over the drama. They'll lose on any of those fronts. If they try to troll me, they'll lose. If they try to lie about the videos, they'll lose. Like, that's why these people do this. And they think that they're above it all. These people they're losers just like everybody else, chat. In fact, when I read some of these emails, I would argue that they are bigger losers than you would even imagine. When you read this kind of stuff they say, these people are dorks. They're total losers. They're the people that got picked on in high school all the time. All the time. It's embarrassing that these are the people that are controlling the perception behind the scenes. If people knew what dorks these people were, no one would ever listen to them. They wouldn't think that they have any credibility. It's crazy. And some of them are smart enough not to reply because they'll know they'll get exposed if somebody like me were to just show the emails if they were to reply honestly. Versus me, I'll just reply, man. You guys know who I am. I'm not trying to hide anything. Okay. I'm going to show you guys on the email that Jack Sarfatti sent about, is Ashton Forbes a Bob Lazar? There is a link to this. What the fuck is this? www.gravityinternet.com. I actually might be getting a virus from this, chat. I don't recommend you guys go to this website. I don't recommend you guys go to this website. I probably already messed up. Ashton Forbes Journey, achievements, and impact 1 week ago by admin. First of all, this is obviously a fake website, right? What is this? What is this? Jack Sarfatti sent me this. Jack Sarfatti sent me this. Ashton Forbes, journey, achievements, and impact. Like, and then there's this weird fake newsletter thing. Thursday, February 23. I wasn't even a celebrity in February 23 of 2023. Like, this date right here, I didn't even have a social media presence until August of 2023. This fake article predates my media presence by like 6 months. Like, does Jack actually think this is real? Yeah, is this an AI website or something, Nick? I don't understand. I don't get it. This is honestly fucking hilarious. I saw this. Honestly, I saw this and I was like, we're live streaming tonight, chat. I was walking Lulu and I saw this website and I was like, we're live streaming tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on, but we're live streaming this. This is too funny. This is hilarious. We're going to read this, by the way. Let's read some of it. Ashton Forbes stands out for his innovative approach to solving problems, his ability to balance creativity with business strategy, and his commitment to fostering the next. Just cuts off. Ashton Forbes is a dynamic entrepreneur, tech innovator, and thought leader. His ability to spot trends and harness technology. In a world driven by technology and constant change, Ashton Forbes has embraced an entrepreneurial path that blends business acumen with a deep understanding of technology. As someone who thrives in complex, challenging, and then just cuts off, like, there needs to be more words here. This isn't even a complete sentence. As someone who thrives in complex, challenging. AI definitely wrote this, chat. Whoever wrote this, honestly, you are funny as hell. This was great. Challenging, and there's a period, I guess, challenging environments. He has carved out a niche. Like, somebody went to the effort to make a whole fake article about me. Like, it goes on. Look at this. Look how long this is. Look how long this is, chat. What is this? I'm gonna start at the bottom. What are Ashton Forbes' future goals, chat? Forbes' future goals including expanding his impact in the tech world, particularly areas in AI and blockchain. They are? As well as continuing his philanthropic efforts to support innovation globally. Guys, I'm saving this, chat. I'm going to send this to people as my bio. This is going to be my bio from now on when I, fuck bitches and get money. That's when people ask for my bio, I'm going to send them this email. Just like 100% seriously, I'm going to pretend like it's totally real. I'm going to send them this bio. This is so weird. This is weird and very desperate and just a little bit psychotic. This is a little bit psychotic, isn't it? How, like, mentally unbalanced do you have to be to have AI spit out this nonsense? Like, give me a bio about this. Ashton Forbes has founded several tech startups, each aimed at addressing specific gaps in the market. Some of his most successful ventures have focused on AI, blockchains, and digital solutions. What the fuck? What the fuck? Can somebody... This is just so weird, chat. Yeah, they need to add some Scientology into this. Is there some Scientology in here? You guys got to get more creative with it. Put me on the next startup, homie. It does read like a 007 novel. We're famous, chat. We're famous. Couldn't they have just made it better, though? Can someone find out, is this like a template and they just changed Ashton Forbes out with somebody else? Or did they like make a whole AI thing about this? The level of cohesion that they literally have people wasting their time with this to go through these lengths to discredit someone is crazy. People still think they're not pushing an exactly, man. Look at how much effort. Look at all the effort you'd have to go through to make all this shit up. Like, people are putting their full-time jobs in to like make fake websites about me and make up long 37-page PDF documents about me and stuff, and just total lies. Like, wow, man, this is embarrassing. This is sad. This is sad. It is hilarious, though. It is hilarious. Ashton Forbes is so fetch, chat. Of course, this is AI, but still, you have to like feed it. This is someone's like 9 to 5. Someone's job out there. Their 9 to 5 job is to like monitor me and just make fake shit and put it on the internet and try to spread weird fake narratives about me, like any angle they can find. Right? Ashton said this one time. We're gonna blast that on social media. Like, God, it's so sad. Is that what the CIA has come down to at this point? Is that what our intelligence agencies are wasting tax dollars on? Oh my God, this is hilarious. Okay. Okay, let's look at my life. Let's read my life chat. Yeah, this is some if this is MK Ultra, then MK Ultra is very real. People are like Jack Sarfatti might be so demented that he actually thinks this is real. Like he maybe Googled me and he found this and he might actually think this is legit. Ashton Forbes is a name that's gaining increasing attention across various industries. His rise to prominence, both as an entrepreneur and an influencer in the technology and business world, showcases his unique approach to innovation and success. In this article, we'll deep dive into the life of Ashton Forbes, his achievements, his contributions to the industry, and the lessons we can all learn from his journey. Who is Ashton Forbes? Ashton Forbes is a dynamic entrepreneur, tech innovator, and thought leader. His ability to spot trends and harness technology has positioned him as a pivotal figure in today's fast-paced business environment. Whether it's through his groundbreaking innovations or his leadership in the startup ecosystem, Forbes is a name that resonates with creativity, resilience, and success. It's true, chat. 4 orbs, baby. 4 orbs. In a world driven by technology and constant change, Ashton Forbes has embraced an entrepreneurial path that blends business acumen with a deep understanding of technology. As someone who thrives in complex, challenging environments, he's carved out a niche for himself, both as an innovator and a strategic thinker. This is hilarious, chat. Okay, let's just do the early life and education, then we'll end it here. This is brutal. Early life and education. Let's figure out I want to learn about my early life, chat. I haven't read this yet, so what's going to happen with my early life, chat? What's going to happen? I literally want to print this out and frame this. This is incredible. Yeah, this is quite literally the definition of insanity. Like this is the definition of insanity, chat. Yeah, why is there nothing about my dancing skills? Born with a curiosity for how things work, Forbes has shown an early inclination towards technology and innovation. Growing up in a tech-friendly household, he was always fascinated by the evolving digital landscape. This is true. This passion would later shape his career choices and fuel his entrepreneurial ambitions. Forbes attended some of the finest educational institutions. I attended the finest educational institutions. I wore the freshest clothes and I hung out with the hottest dudes. All true. Sorry. Okay. Forbes attended some of the finest educational institutions where he honed his business and technical skills. His formal education played a significant role in providing him with the tools necessary to navigate the complex world of tech startups. However, it was his hands-on experiences, both in school and early in his career, that truly prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead. I'm sending this when Emerald Robinson next has me on her show, I'm sending this to her producers. I'm going to send this to her as my bio, and I'm going to have her read it on air. I'm going to have Emerald Robinson say, Ashton Forbes attended some of the finest educational institutions where he honed his business and technical skills. This is hilarious. This is too funny, man. Some of these people are thinking about me in their heads 24/7, man. This one time on Joe Rogan, this woman talked about rumination. Rumination is when you can't stop thinking about somebody and you just ruminate about them in your head all the time. And you start to build stories about them in your head about what kind of person they are and things like that. Whoever did that, that's definitely what was going down. Like obsession and rumination. Wow. Okay, let's read some Jack Sarfatti emails. Okay. So let me make sure. I'm going to see if I can do this without revealing information. Okay, here's the email chat. Just so you 100% know, Jack sent this to me. This is Jack. David, please send the math of your off-the-shelf QED, whatever. I don't give a shit about what David Chester says. Note, Ashton never says what educational institutions he attended. Then he quotes the article. Like Jack Sarfatti is literally pulling this website up and then he's quoting it like a boomer. Forbes attended some of the finest educational institutions. Does he literally think this is real? Like, is Jack Sarfatti an idiot or is he a disinformation agent? What do you guys think, chat? Chat, 1 or 2 in the chat. Do you think that Jack Sarfatti is an idiot? 1 in the chat. Do you think he's a disinformation agent? 2 in the chat. Okay? 1 in the chat if you think Jack Sarfatti is an idiot. 2 in the chat if you think Jack Sarfatti is a disinformation agent. Go, chat, go. What do you think it is? 1 in the chat for idiot. 2 in the chat for disinformation agent. I want to see what you guys think. 2. We got some 2s. We got some 1s. We got 1.5 in the chat. 2. Oh, we're pretty divided, chat. We are pretty divided here. We got some 1s and we got some 2s. 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2. Here we go. Okay, wow. Okay, so we're a little bit divided. So for the Jack Sarfattis who are watching, yeah, maybe a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. This is pretty psychotic, chat. This is pretty psychotic. Like, is Jack Sarfatti just thinking about me all the time, every day? I can't really tell. I can't tell. It's pretty damn bizarre. So, do I have to open up the other chain? Jesus Christ. Okay. Wait, Jack just sent me 2 more emails since we've live streamed. 2 more emails. 2 more, chat. 8:11, yeah, 8:11 and 8:24. He sent me 4 more emails since we started the live stream. Chester is a schmuck, and I never said what Chester falsely claims I said. Oh, shit. This is going to be spicy, chat. Oh, shit. Oh, man, I just want to show the emails, though. This is so hard to... How am I going to block all the email accounts? How am I going to do this? Okay. I want to show what I sent it to... I challenged... I saw these people. There's this email chain about... Actually, let's start let's go through the Bob Lazar email chain, and then I'm going to show you the other email chain as well. I just want you guys to get an idea of how these people operate behind the scenes. This is just nuts, man. So I showed you that email, and then I sent Jack the response, which I've already shown you the screenshot. It's in literally the thumbnail. LMAO, Jack, don't believe everything you read on sketchy internet websites. You're such a boomer. Send me more Facebook memes. That's what I told Jack Sarfatti. I only replied to him on that, though. And then I started seeing other people reply. So David Chester replies and he says, start with this book instead. I'm not sharing the entire draft. And then he shares with something about Milioni, the Quantum Vacuum Introduction to Quantum Electrodynamics from 1994. Okay, great. Okay, now this is weird. Okay, so I can't tell if these people are just morons or what it is. Like, I literally can't tell. So I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna block out the email addresses. There's only like 1 I have to block out. Honestly, you can probably already see it anyway, but I'm just gonna do people a favor because I don't want to dox them or anything like that. Okay. So the Rafos network responds, chat. The Rafos network responds. I just want to point out that the article on Forbes doesn't list any of his achievements. My opinion, it's a bullshit PR website. He must have hired someone with really shitty to be his PR people. Are these people fucking morons? I don't think they're actually pushing disinformation. I think they're just morons, chat. I think they're just idiots. You guys all saw that and realized right away it's an AI article, right? Like these people can't even distinguish AI from reality. Oh wait, I'm not even sharing. I just shared. I just doxed him. Okay, well, too late. I literally couldn't tell that I was sharing the wrong thing. Whoops. Well, there we go. It's too bad. Okay, this is what I meant to share, chat. What was blocked out? Who knows? But pretty much the same thing. Yeah, they're extremely primitive. These people are retarded. These people are retarded. These are people that have worked in the CIA. Jack claims to have worked in the CIA. You can see Ron Pandolfi's name right down here. Ron Pandolfi is a legendary CIA spook. Truthfully, I thought they were just being coy and they were like trying to be funny or something like that. But it doesn't really come off as funny. It comes off like they're actually trying to convince people this is real, doesn't it? This is yeah, it's the same email for earlier this year. I'm just showing you guys the details because I want to show you they scanned this. How stupid are these people? No wonder we can't get disclosure. These people are complete morons, just complete idiots. Okay, so then Ron Pandolfi weighs in, chat. I will block the personal information from Ron Pandolfi. My first ever interaction with Ron Pandolfi. I have to say, I was pretty excited, chat. I was pretty excited because I've heard about this guy. I've heard he's a total piece of shit. And that he's a monster behind the scenes. But you know what? I don't try to judge. I try not to judge people. I like to judge people based on the things that they say and that they do. But I've heard that Ron Pandolfi's handling a bunch of people. Yeah, hard R, retarded. I've heard that he's handling a bunch of people, that he's misinforming a bunch of people behind the scenes. And then I see these whole email chains and I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe he literally is misinforming people behind the scenes. Like, no doubt. So this was Ron Pandolfi's reply. Let's just read it out, chat. You guys can see it well, right? It would be equally relevant to ask, is Bob Lazar really Ashton Forbes? Question mark. The person commonly known as Bob Lazar fabricated his education, employment, and experiences. He was never an employee of Los Alamos National Laboratory. He was never hired by EG&G. He was never in Palmdale. He was never at Area 51. He never possessed strange materials. The person commonly known as Bob Lazar managed a brothel and pimped illegally over the internet. What? This is fucking crazy, chat. This is crazy. No, like this person, he's going, Ron Pandolfi is going at Bob Lazar here. He's going hard at Bob Lazar here. This is all the disinformation they spread about Bob Lazar. Like, none of this is actually true. What they tried to do is they tried to lie about Bob Lazar and claim that he was never in the place that he was, but he like had the receipts that he was. And then like they tried, the story goes they just deleted his records of working at, or his records of his school, but he also may have lied a little bit in there as well, and they just used that to discredit him because like once you lied about anything, then they can just claim that you're a total liar, right? This is crazy, right, chat? This is one of the most weird, mentally ill replies I've ever seen in my entire life. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. I can't ever imagine sending an email like this. Like, is Ron Pandolfi like drunk as shit? Guys, I'm swigging on the scissor, but I feel like I imagine Ron Pandolfi sitting around with his like his flip phone and like an old laptop, like on a chair in front of the fireplace, just drunk as hell, and just like sending like deranged emails like this to people. Like, what a psychopath. This is a psychopathic email. This is, when I saw this, I was like, we're doing a live stream. This is Ron Pandolfi, legendary CIA spook. Our tax dollars are paying for this, chat. Our tax dollars are paying for this. Was he on the clock when you wrote this email? This is wild, bro. I guess technically it was 5:16 p.m. So maybe he was off the clock. So if you care, it looks like Ron Pandolfi's a PhD apparently, director of TACP network. He's the CTO, the chief technological officer for Casimir Robotics and a division of the Casimir World Foundation. I could look him up and try to find all the dirt about this guy. I don't even care. He seems like a psychopath. Seems like a total psychopath. This is just straight up demented. This is weird, man. Hey, man, Bob Lazar had brothels. More power to him, bro. There's nothing illegal about that in Nevada. Nothing legal about that. I think it sounds like jealousy a little bit, right? It's like, damn, Bob Lazar was getting laid, and Ron Pandolfi was not. Feels bad. Yeah, this is full primitive. He went full primitive on this one. So you guys want to see my reply? Who's ready to see Ashton Forbes' reply? Who's ready? Yeah, this is a good take. This is common shitlib behavior, right? Like, I have a feeling that Ron Pandolfi is a Kamala Harris voter. Kamala Harris voter for sure. Kamala Harris is like literally retarded. And this is the type of person. He got drunk as shit. He's just sending weird emails that are just like this bizarre. Just bizarre. There's no other way to describe this other than just straight up bizarre. Just a bizarre email. But guys, Ashton, me, chat. Me. I had to reply. Guys, it's my first message from the legend Ron Pandolfi, right? It's my first message from the legend Ron Pandolfi. So I had to respond. Of course I had to respond. How do you guys think I responded? Oh, and the best was, I don't know. John Warner replied, just said, here's the real big Donald versus Kamala debate. I couldn't. Oh, and he was showing the spoof lady Esme or whatever on Twitter. She's hilarious. She's great. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. Wait, why is this? Okay, there we go. Oh my god! I gotta block out. I gotta block out the email again. Hold on. Even though I've already accidentally revealed the emails several times. I'm terrible at that, chat. Please forgive me for revealing whoever that person was whose email I revealed. Here was my response, chat. Okay. Let's get ready. My first interaction with the legendary Ron Pandolfi. What an honor. I figured out what you guys did to MH370 and all the physics you've been hiding from the public in just 1 year, and all it took was 2 videos that you let leak onto the internet in 2014. You better pray Lynn doesn't ever decide to turn whistleblower or any of the other people that know. If you admit the truth, I'll advocate for amnesty for those responsible. Otherwise, I'll be advocating for capital punishment for those who have covered up war crimes and crimes against humanity. I've been nice so far. I could be digging up every skeleton in your closet. I'm sure you've had quite a few. Oh, and that website is fake, but you knew that. Toodles. Toodles. Ron. Toodles, Ron. Bro, when CIA agents send me weirdo ass emails, this is what you get in response. And the best part is now, if anything were to happen to me, that's some pretty incriminating evidence for who they need to talk to first, right? Now, if anything were to happen to me, probably the first people they should be talking to is Ron Pandolfi of the CIA. Probably you should be the first person that people talk to. Just saying. So this does me a huge favor. I'm glad he sent this super psychotic email to me. Because, what do you think I was going to do with it? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show it to my 180,000 Twitter followers, my live stream, my 40,000 people on YouTube, all my social media, right? You want to send me weird psychotic shit? Please, Ron Pandolfi, send me more psychotic emails. I love them. I love your psychotic emails, Ron Pandolfi. Get hammered in front of your fire with your laptop and your flip phone. Send me more psychotic emails. Send me more stuff about Bob Lazar and other shit like that. I love it. It is amazing content. God, this is amazing content. If I were you guys, I would want to watch this. This is great. Amazing chat. I knew you guys were going to love this. This is crazy. Okay, so let's see what else we got from my boy here. God, how many emails did he send me? He just sent another email? He just sent another email. Oh, wait, no, this is somebody else. Okay. Let me see. Where's the one? Okay, so let's go to this one where... Jesus, how many chains are there, chat? This is a 32 email chain. I don't got time for all that. I don't got time for all this. Let me see what we got going on here. I think I can just share this. Yeah, I want you to see how psychotic these people are, chat. Now you're going to see physicists arguing in emails. And if you thought they were going to act any better than what people act on social media, sorry, I'm going to have to let you down right now. Like, these people act like literal middle schoolers in emails. They're exactly as egotistical and narcissistic and just childish as you would have ever expected. They're all the things that you would have ever expected. Yeah, Jack Sarfatti, Ron Pandolfi, maybe. This is a 32 email chain, chat. 32 emails on this one, okay? Jack Sarfatti, I call Dave Rossi's bluff on the Schwinger limit and Sal Paez's claim. Show us how the Schwinger limit justifies Salvatore Paez's bogus, in my opinion, claims. And then Dave Rossi says, I never said it justified his claims. I'm merely pointing out your ramblings on your stream the other night about how the Schwinger limit has nothing to do with whatever. Oh, and now's the time we're going to play the video chat. So if you don't know what Dave is referring to right here, you're about to find out.
Behind Ashton, it could be, we don't know who's really behind Ashton. It could.
So Jack Sarfatti is trying to spread the who's behind Ashton Forbes. Ashton Forbes could be a CIA agent secretly. Like, what did Ron Pandolfi tell him to start spreading this bullshit? Where did he come up with this? It seems pretty coordinated. This is pretty weird, chat. So, I mean, of course, the very first thing I'm going to do is just start showing all your emails on live stream, right? Like, I'm the most transparent guy in the world when it comes to all this shit. Okay. This video, Pepe, this video is great.
It could be, it could be a disinformation, deliberate thing. I don't know.
Or you could be a deliberate thing. We don't know either. So we're going to figure it out.
All right, now, who knows?
Did you have a history with the CIA from the 1950s, Jack?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I do. I said that I don't remember calling Sal Paez a certified lunatic. But now I will say Sal Paez is a certified lunatic, and his friend Rossi doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. This is the dumbest thing I've ever. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, okay? And let me just say this, that Sal Paez does have a PhD. I looked him up. He's an engineer. His PhD was in some kind of like aerospace with low gravity. It's all Newtonian gravity. It has nothing to do with general relativity. Sal does not.
Gravity. What is gravity anyway, chat? Gravity. What does gravity have to do with general relativity? What does that have to do with it? Nothing. Nothing.
I was involved with MKO. Boy in Hiroshima. You know how much
A
mass?
lot, and the Schwinger limit's very high. I understand.
No, it has nothing to do with the fucking Schwinger limit.
That. Okay.
There's no connection. You don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know elementary physics. I'm sorry, Michael. You don't know. Where did you study physics? What did you study? Did you study what the Schwinger limit has to do with intense? What does that have to do with what I just said? Nothing.
So, if you have these phonons.
Well, listen, wait a minute. You don't even understand E equals MC squared. That's
Moss-Bauer coupling. Moss-Bauer coupling. That's where
you're not listening. You don't hear what I'm talking about. Just listen. You're making Moss-Bauer coupling. What the fuck? Who ordered that? Irrelevant. I'm talking about a simple equation. E equals MC squared. Okay?
Mass energy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. The mass equivalent of energy. That's special relativity. 1905 Einstein. Right? Everybody knows that equation, but you apparently don't understand it. Neither do I.
Well, you don't have to.
Just listen. You're not listening.
Just listen. You're not listening, chat. You're not listening. E equals MC squared. Where did you learn physics? Where did you go to school? Mass power coupling. What is that? What is mass power coupling? That doesn't mean anything. Blah, blah, blah. Schwinger limit. What the fuck is Schwinger limit? The Schwinger limit doesn't mean anything. Jesus Christ, chat. Does it make sense now? Does it make sense? Listen to me. You're not listening. You're not listening. How do people actually talk like this? How in the hell do people actually talk like this? This is actually just straight up crazy. I mean, what the fuck? What am I in the middle of, chat? What in the hell am I in the middle of right now? I don't know how when Bernie comes in and goes, well, you have had, he's just like, Bernie, I love when Bernie just talks over him and is like, you have had a connection to the CIA since the 1950s, Jack. And he goes, yeah, I have. he loves it. He loves the attention. He loves the infamy of having a connection to the CIA. Jack Sarfatti's never been read into any Black Project programs. Never, dude. He doesn't know shit. Oh man, old Jack Sarfatti. What a wild kook he is. What a wild kook. We Are the Change. Thank you for the 5 different donations. I wish I could see somewhere where all the donations are so I could go through them all, but I can't. Pepe, guys, Pepe made that video, and Pepe also made the Kim.com video. You don't mess with MH370X. You mess with MH370X, you're going to get memed on until you cry, and then we're going to make memes about you crying. That's how we roll, baby. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Wow, these people are crazy, man. I love giving people a glimpse behind the scenes, by the way, guys, of how all these people act, because they just act like middle schoolers. They just act like little middle schoolers. People expect that these PhDs and stuff are have some class to them, but they don't. They don't have any class. None at all. Okay, back to the emails. I call Dave Rossi's bluff. Chat. You know what? We're just going to risk that there might be personal information, and we're just going to scroll through these. We're just going to look at some of them. So Dave says that thing, says, I never claimed that. And then Dave Chester writes this long thing about how I've studied extended electrothermodynamic or extended electrodynamics, which is QED. And basically it's just a bunch of, these guys are speaking on another level in terms of the math. And it's basically just a bunch of people trying to act more cocky and condescending than the next person. It's basically a battle about who's more cocky and condescending and who went to what better education system. It's crazy. I couldn't even believe it. And then this guy, Creon Levitt, whoever this guy is, never heard of him before. He comes in as well. As Bearden was confused and confusing about classic electrodynamics. Basically, these guys are trying to rip down Bearden and claim that Bearden was wrong about scalar physics and all this stuff. And I'm just reading their replies, and I'm going, Tom Bearden spent decades in Black projects. He's got, 40 videos at least online going into extended detail about every aspect of the physics and electrical engineering. and they're not, and like they're gonna try to bring down Tom Bearden. Have a little fucking respect for your betters, honestly, man. There's no easy way to put it. Tom Bearden knows more than any of these guys will, more than both of them will know combined in their entire lives. He saw stuff they'll never see, ever. Which I thought was just wild, because when I challenge physicists, I don't want to hear about, oh, I know the 4-dimensional hyperspace better than you know it. Okay, David Chester's in the chat. Good. I want him to hear this. What was the Einstein quote? If you can't explain something simply, then you don't understand it well enough, right? A lot of these guys try to talk down to you. David Chester tries to do it, and I'm going to show you David Chester's email so you can see exactly how he tries to do it. It's crazy. This guy wrote like 8 paragraphs to somebody, and I just asked basic physics questions, and he tries to play high and mighty about me, about you need to answer this question about scalar physics and Maxwell's equations before I'll answer any of your questions. What the fuck, man? Do you think you're being an educator? Do you think you're worthy of your PhD when you respond to people like that? Let's read it. Let's take a look. Let me go full screen here so we can see. You know what? I'm going to let you guys see it. I'm not going to share the email addresses, but you can see what's going on here. Hi, Dave. I've been studying extended electrodynamics, but I prefer to call it Feynman's off-the-shelf formulation of QED, or for off-the-shelf Maxwell's equations. Those equations have been studied by pioneers of quantum mechanics going back to the 1930s. Feynman uses it in his Feynman diagrams as well, but people focus on the quantum aspects. I found the gauge condition that pairs nicely with Feynman's gauge fixing terms that leads to the extended electrodynamics of equations of motion. That leads to a material interpretation of the vacuum. However, what does Li and Yang's discovery have to do with electrodynamics? This sounds like something Tom Bearden was confused about. He claimed that some SU2 electrodynamics theory from Barrett was intriguing and pursued an O3 electrodynamics where SO3 tilde SU2, but I personally don't see the merit in that approach. The weak force has SU2 gauge symmetry, but it is different in the electrodynamics. I know that Bearden talked about Li and Yang, but it seems like he did not see the rigorous mathematical picture. Okay, I'm going to spare you guys the rest of this. And then he posts the paper that's down here as well. Truthfully, I don't know a damn thing that you're talking about, David Chester. I don't know a damn thing that you're talking about. If you want to explain it easily, I would love it. So here was my response. And it wasn't even so much his, but then this other one by Levitt here, saying Bearden claimed that Maxwell used the quaternions in his first edition of Treatise, which is true, and that when Maxwell switched from the quaternions to the 3D vector notation of Heaviside in his second edition, that all sorts of physics were left out, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends saying, please don't argue with me about this unless you understand every word that I just wrote. Thanks. This is how they literally talk, chat. Unless you understood every word that I just wrote, and I just spoke some complete nonsense that nobody can understand. Unless you understand everything that I just wrote, don't respond to me or argue with me about this. This is how these people operate. This is how these physicists and PhDs talk, chat. So, who wants to see Ashton Forbes' reply to David Chester? I'm just going to make sure I'm not revealing anything. And actually, Dave called him out, Dave Rossi. Please don't argue with me about this until you understand every word. He says, and this, everyone, is how and why the field stays stagnated where it is. Don't worry, I'm not going to waste time with either of you myself. LOL. Warmly, Dave. That's how Dave Rossi responded. Quite classy, if I'm going to be honest with you. Because I think if you're going to be that condescending to people, no one's going to fucking listen to you. No one cares. The truth is, if you're somebody that wants to get stuck in the physic narcissistic viewpoint that you know everything and nobody else does, nobody's going to remember you when you die. Nobody's going to remember Jack Sarfatti when he dies. Nobody's going to remember any of those people. Instead, we're going to build monuments to people like Tom Bearden, Paul Siz, Eric Davis, Hal Puthoff. The rest of you guys who are sitting out there pretending like you know everything when you don't even answer, when you can't even answer like basic questions about physics, you're not going to be remembered. You want to talk about SU3 quaternions and whatever other shit? Go nuts, bro. If you want to try to like talk down to people that way because you just feel like you're so superior, good luck, bro. Good luck. Yeah, learn I was wrong sooner rather than later. Very powerful. Oh, no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet, David. We're not done yet. I hope after all this, I don't get sent any more email chains from any of these people. But if I do, I do. And we may have some more fun live streams. Am I showing emails? Hopefully not. Oh, shit. Wait, let me just make sure. Okay. So I say fun email chain. It's pretty hilarious to hear people confidently talk about physics principles and try to diminish Tom Bearden, a legendary engineer with a career in black projects with over 40 videos online explaining the concepts and history of electrical engineering in detail. Tesla invented the alternating current, the power we still use today. He believed in a source of energy he called radiant energy. We now call it zero-point energy. Some people call it the ether, including Maxwell himself. Martin Gruznik turned Marcus and Morley experiment on its side in 2009 and showed that there's a shift in the interference pattern. If you don't think the reduction in Maxwell's equations leaves anything out, explain the Aronoff-Bohm effect. Seems like a simple request, which proves that even in the absence of EM fields, there's still a phase shift. Why is this important? Because one of the reduced Maxwell's equations is that the del cross operator times B equals 0. When in reality, it should equal A. And hopefully I'm going to say this correctly, which I believe means the gradients of space-time times the magnetic field should equal the magnetic vector potential. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And the real point here is that I'm saying is that if space-time is not empty, then we can have potentials transmit through the medium, scalar physics, right? The idea of scalar physics with the 0-point waves. If we have two waves that are out of phase, that connect to one another, the electromagnetic fields cancel out. There's nothing there. You can still have action happening, the scalar potential. You can still have that potential happening, which could be gravity itself. That was my point. That's what I wanted to bring up, because with the Aronoff-Bohm effect, we have no electromagnetic fields, and yet we see a phase shift, which indicates there's something going on in the medium, even in absence of electromagnetic fields. Here's some additional physics questions for the experts. So if people are so confident that they understand physics better than everyone else, these seem like very, very simple questions that should be able to be asked for somebody. Where does energy come from? Where does energy come from? What does Chester say? Have fun, everyone. I'm a scientist who got hospitalized against my will for trying to figure out Bearden's science. Have a great day, everyone. Oh, now we're playing the victim? Okay. I don't know anything about your past, man. None of this is about making you hospitalized or anything like that. So hopefully you don't take it that way. I'm just pointing out that your email seemed extremely condescending, and I asked some pretty basic questions here. Where does energy come from? How does an AC generator produce energy? Now, what am I getting at with respect to this? Where does the energy all around us come from? Do you really believe that we're converting kinetic energy, or we're converting wind, or we're converting steam into energy? Is that what's actually happening? Is it's being converted? Or are we just using that to spin a generator, and the generator is what's producing the energy because you're having a time shift of the electromagnetic fields? That's extremely important. It's a very basic physics concept to understand. Why? Because it promotes the idea of the ether, that the energy is not coming from me spitting my kinetic energy spinning this, or from the wind that's pushing the generator. The energy is being manifested from all around us all the time. Next question. And I think maybe Jeremy was able to answer this, maybe not. How is the military able to transmit, and I meant wirelessly transmit, how is the military able to wirelessly transmit power at a distance with extremely high efficiency when energy drops off by the inverse square law? Why can we transmit energy at a distance? And another follow-up to this one would be, do you think that energy is flowing through wires? And if it is flowing through wires, how come I can connect a current detector without actually touching the wire and I can detect the current? Okay, Jeremy, well, here's a note for you. You can get the fuck out of here then. Because that attitude is exactly why I don't like you, Jeremy. The attitude where you think you're so superior, but you can't even answer these questions, Jeremy. These questions are for you as well. And I've been very, very nice to you. But the irony I find about Jeremy Reese is this. Jeremy, when he wants to take his credentials and pretend like he's so much smarter than everyone, always tries a high road. He comes into my replies and he claims, I'm a physicist with 20 years. I've never accomplished anything, but everybody should listen to me. And he tries to beg for attention. Please listen to me. Please, Candace Owens, have me on. Everybody should be listening to me. Why is no one listening to me? I have so much experience. I've never actually accomplished anything, but everybody should be listening to me anyway. And so he plays both sides. He plays the one side where he says, I know everything. I'm a physicist. I know I'm smarter than you. And on the other side, he says, I believe in conspiracy theories and that 9/11 was an inside job and that they planted thermite in the buildings and that all the other conspiracies are stupid. All the DEW conspiracies are stupid. Like, bro, how are you going to pretend to have these weird conspiracy theories and then also play up the mainstream media? I'm just so much smarter than you. If you are so much smarter, like, honestly, I'm so tired of these people, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Peace. Peace. You show proof. Jeremy, you don't show shit for proof, bro. There is not even a fraction of the evidence for the 9/11 conspiracy that you promote relative to the MH370 videos. Not even a fraction. You have zero proof. None at all. None at all. Why don't you answer the questions, Jeremy? What is the nature of gravity, inertia, and mass? How did the universe expand faster than the speed of light? What is dark energy? What is dark matter? Why doesn't the ground state of a hydrogen atom, why doesn't it radiate energy? Quantum mechanics proves nothing's ever at rest. So why is the ground state of a hydrogen atom not radiating energy? How does superfluid helium-3 never freeze if absolute zero is the lowest state of energy? And then if you say, oh, well, there is this 0 point energy, then the question is how much? So how can the ZPE, the 0 point energy, be insignificant when the Casimir effect increases in power exponentially? And at microscopic scales, engineers have to be careful not to let two metal surfaces get close to one another. Otherwise, they get stuck together and you can never get them apart again because they're so small and the effect is so powerful. And then, of course, the last question, why does negative energy exist in the math if it's an exotic substance? Do you guys know that negative energy actually exists in the physics math? Negative energy states exist in the physics math. What do physicists say? We're just going to ignore that. It doesn't make any sense. It must be exotic. It must be exotic. It's like, it's not even that hard. We know there's 0 point energy that's all out there. So what's negative energy? Going below sea level. That's it. That's it. Tom Bearden knew this. Tom Bearden knew this 30, 40 years ago. And all these guys think they're so much smarter than Tom Bearden and all these other dudes. It's crazy, right? Okay, Jeremy, I won't rat on you anymore. But you asked for it. Okay, let's take a look at some of these other emails. Yeah, like JK Philly says, nature is not complicated. You don't need a PhD to understand the universe. You don't need a PhD to understand nature. You just have to observe and look at the experiments that have happened and explain those questions that I just asked. Any PhD physicist that can't explain those questions, you have no right to talk down to anybody else. No right. Those are some of the most fundamental questions about our universe in general. Most fundamental questions. And so you wonder, the reason why I bring this up is because people will say, well, free energy is stupid. It's not possible. But you can't even answer with a question of where energy is coming from. So how can you say it's stupid? This is why, and the point for everybody in the chat was to show you how academia has failed us and how we become brainwashed, literally brainwashed. And I've talked to Dave about this, where it's like we've had private conversations with Jeremy and David Chester, and we tried to explain this to them privately, and they're not willing to listen. They're just literally not willing to listen. They're not willing to consider the fact that they were taught wrong. Why? Because then they spent 20 years for no reason doing nothing. It's really that simple. Okay. Michael Perrone popped in and replied to me alone and said, yeah, Tom probably worked at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. I don't think I'm revealing any emails. God. And David Chester tried to high road about like how smart he is and he doesn't have time to respond to my basic questions. Look at how many emails he sent. Some of these emails were like 10 paragraphs long. And Michael Perrone, I like Michael. I'm going to actually interview with Mike. I'm going to talk to Michael. I think I'm going to talk to him on Hard Truths podcast because I think he's pretty open-minded guy for sure. And he took that abuse from Jack Sarfatti. And Michael is super intelligent, super smart. Honestly, I like him probably the most out of all the APEC guys. Really smart guy. So he's been wanting to talk to me. Sal Paez told him. Oh, I just revealed his email. Shit. Sal Paez told me that that I should talk to him. So pretty sweet. Own It loves it. I can't express how long I've waited to see content like this. Yeah, I'm giving you guys a glimpse behind the curtain about how these people act behind the scenes. You know, because in public they try to play these PR bullshit and whatever, but you find out that it's like all a bunch of phony nonsense and narcissism and ego behind the scenes and hurt feelings everywhere, right? Okay. Can we just scroll down here? Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's like reality TV. This is crazy, chat. So it looks like Michael and I, maybe next week we chat. Oh, Jose Rodal. Okay, whatever. Oh my God. So many emails. These guys went back and forth. So then it's just Jose and Dave Chester going back and forth. I mean, Dave Chester wrote a whole book here. Oh, look. How do I post this without? I'm not even going to read all this, chat. I don't got time for this. We got other shit going on. But what I am going to say is I'm going to show this. So this was Dave Chester replying to Rodal. Oh, I just revealed his email as well. Feels bad. He says in the end, in a sense, we could say that Ashton is vindicated in the sense that Maxwell claimed that the vacuum was described by an ether with material-like properties, aka permittivity and refraction index. The key is to see how macroscopic electrodynamics should be applicable to the microscopic by careful inspection of quantum electrodynamics. Yes, because my whole point is that there's an ether of energy and 0 point energy will unify the very small and the very large. That's exactly what Hal Puthoff wrote in his Gravity as a 0 point fluctuation force. I seriously just don't understand if they don't read these papers or if they just don't give them credit or what. I don't understand. But Hal Puthoff is money, so I'm not sure why they don't read it. I'll probably post the papers after this as well, so people can take a look. When it comes to Martin Gruznik as well, there's a paper by Ishmael out there that references not only Martin Gruznik, but another person that did another experiment with the Michelson-Morley that he basically says that gravity must be connected to the ether. And of course it is, because 0 point energy is the ether, and 0 point energy and gravity is an induced effect based on 0 point energy. And yes, thank you. If you guys liked the Candace Owens interview, thank you very much. We're going to only go for another few minutes here. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Vindicated. Yeah, because David Chester knew what my argument really was, but he was high-roading me with all this other shit about dimensions that has nothing to do with what I was talking about. Because when I talk to people, I talk to people in a way that they can understand. Like I'm not, you can tell based on my questions if you're a physicist what I'm getting at, right? I think you guys can even understand it. This is why people like Candace Owens want to talk to me and they don't want to talk to people like David Chester or Jeremy. Because with those people talk to them, they're not going to make any sense. No one's going to understand what the hell they're talking about. And this is what made Tom Bearden so great. If you guys watch Tom Bearden's videos, he explains it in a way where normal people can understand it. With a little bit of physics and a little bit of electrical engineering, you can understand the concepts. Okay. Oh, Jack Sarfatti. He popped off. Oh, God. I don't even know what these people are talking about. Oh, Mo Denise was another guy that had it figured out. And Jack Sarfatti is obviously hating on him as well. Oh, man. I don't even know what my dude's talking about here. Oh, he talks about Brian Josephson as well. Josephson's legit for sure. Boy, these guys went on, dude. These guys, they went full like Mean Girls. Like, I don't know how many, I'm not even going to show you guys all the emails, but they just, Jack Sarfatti and now David Chester are going at it. And they're, I mean, these guys are clearly sitting at their emails all night. Like, David Chester must have just jumped in the chat after like reading, after sending more of these emails off. Yeah, it's like Mean Girls in here. It's crazy. It literally is, right? Okay, I'll show you another one. I mean, so then here's now Jack Sarfatti again popping off on Jose and David Chester. This is like 5 more emails later, 6 more emails later, chat. Like these guys literally just sit here with these spamming each other in emails all day long. Holy shit. And then Jose responds, and then David Chester responds again. Can I like make sure? Okay, cool. I can minimize these. Hold on. I'm going to minimize them all so you can just see how many goddamn emails these people. They've been going at this all night. Remember, there was like 70 people on this email chain. Remember how many people were on this? And all the people that I listed early on, they're all on this. No wonder no one can figure anything out. Because you got all these mean girls just yelling at each other. They're just yelling at each other through emails. And everybody thinks they're so smart. And so, of course, like if you're Jeremy Corbell, you're going to be like, yeah, the smart people in my email chains of 50 emails that are raging at each other think that this is all nonsense. This is really some boomer shit. Look at all these emails, chat. Do you really need all these emails and all this complex shit just to be like, we've got an ether and the ether has energy in it and it just explains all physics as 0-point energy? Well, why do we need all this? We don't need to be arguing about the, which QED theory makes more sense and how you interpret the QED theory. We just need to be like, there's an ether filled with energy. James Clerk Maxwell, father of electrical engineering, literally believed in it. Tesla, the guy that created all the power we use, all the AC power, the guy who invented all of that, believed in it. It solves all the problems. I don't need PhD in physics to figure that out, or electrical engineering. Oh my God, chat. I mean, look, it just keeps going. Okay, so anyway, holy crap, chat. There's more chains here. Like, there's another chain with them again. Oh, okay. So then, Jesus Christ, they broke off. Jack Sarfatti broke that chain off, and he started another chain about violating Lorentz symmetry with Jose and David Chester. Another one after that. And then he made another one about Jose's straw man. Yes, of course, I know it's a semi-direct product. This is an informal, quick, and dirty email, and I was speaking loosely to a general audience. I meant X is a semi-direct product, which is an obvious since L1,3 is not a subgroup because Thomas's precession, if I'm not mistaken, in my of the cuff off the cuff memory. Holy, this is actually like just straight up like tween drama. It's just tween drama. Holy crap. Let me see if there's any other ones. Let me do a search for Jack Sarfatti's emails, see if we can find anything else. Oh, okay. So then where's the one with Travis Taylor and oh, here it is. Here's my favorite. Jack Sarfatti tells me that Mick West is an idiot, but I'm a worse idiot. It's stupid schmucks all over. Because I told him, you don't really listen to Mick West, do you? He's a total fucking moron. He doesn't even know basic physics. He doesn't even know high school physics. And Jack Sarfatti tries to compare me to him. Where's the one that just came in? Dude, Jack Sarfatti is going crazy on me, bro. I didn't even reply to these emails. He sent me so many. This one's from October 5th. What day is it? October 8th? A PhD physicist comment on Ashton Forbes' latest attack on reason and science. Bro, I've actually broken Jack Sarfatti's mind. I've actually broken this old man's mind. I've broken this man's mind. Hold on. Don't worry, chat. It's coming. We've actually broken this man's mind. Who, like, by the way, he's handled by Ron Pandolfi. Look at this one. A PhD physicist comment on Ashton Forbes' spells my name wrong, latest attack on reason and science. How drunk was Jack Sarfatti writing these emails? Is he day drinking? Just listen. Just listen. The fucking Schwinger limit. The Schwinger limit doesn't mean shit, Jack. Michael, where did you go to school? You don't understand E equals MC squared. Mass energy. When Michael Perone responds mass energy, he's saying that E equals MC squared means you can mass and energy are interchangeable. It's not really that complicated. I brought the Schmucker limit. Like, what is this email, bro? A PhD physicist comment on Ashton Forbes' latest attack on reason and science. Let's read it. Memorandum for the record. Oops. How do you take yourself this seriously? Memorandum for the record on the prevalence of cranks, kooks, and loons in the UFO clown show. Bro, Jack, you are the ringleader of the circus, my dude. You're crank number one, Jack. Jack Sarfatti's the number one crackpot in all the UFO community. Jack Sarfatti's the one who got a future telephone call from the future aliens. Jesus Christ. Jack Sarfatti calling anybody else a crank is like the peak of ultimate irony. My God. Tell us more about the 4K email, or the 4K video that you claimed that you saw before 4K was even available. It's amazing to me that not only do these people fail to assimilate the wisdom you provide them, for example, with your analogy between a nuclear bomb and the stupid arguments at changing the mass of a piezoelectric stack by vibrating, but they go a step further to say that it is you that the one that does not understand the physics involved. There's one positive aspect to this, though. It helps me understand why people like Sean Carroll, Lenny Susskind, and the others dismiss and ignore such crackpots. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm so important. I'm Jack Sarfatti. He's so mad because what I told him, this is what triggered him. When he made that video, when Pepe made that video dissing on Jack about the Schwinger limit, Jack was trying to argue that a nuclear explosion had so much energy in it that if the Schwinger limit was relevant, the Schwinger limit would have been breached by the energy release of the nuclear bomb. Because he says E equals MC squared. The mass was so large, the energy must be this huge amount. But what Jack failed to understand, because he's an idiot, is that the electromagnetic fields are diffuse within a nuclear explosion. They're not compacted into a small region. If your electromagnetic fields are compacted in a small region and you polarize that area of the vacuum, you can create an actual wormhole by breaking the Schwinger limit. The Schwinger limit is extremely important. Maybe Jack Sarfatti should talk to Hal Puthoff if Hal Puthoff thinks the Schwinger limit is important. You know what's weird? Jack never calls out Hal Puthoff. Never. I think that Jack Sarfatti knows that Hal Puthoff is the Godfather, and you don't fuck with the Godfather. The Godfather makes you disappear. So Jack Sarfatti never, the only person he never talks about is, never talks shit about is Hal Puthoff. Never talks shit about Hal Puthoff. Curious, chat. Oh yeah, so this is that was what triggered him, chat. That was what triggered him. He's got my email down here, so I'll just read my email. So this was on October 4th, the day before that, chat. I started to get involved. So if you guys know the Dane Cook joke, it's like when you see the girlfriend and the boyfriend fighting about some nothing thing, like what kind of jelly you're gonna get. This is when you get yourself involved. You're right about the jelly, bro. You're right. She's a bitch. You're right about the jelly, bro. This is what I decided to get involved. So I said, interview is pretty embarrassing for you, Jack. You don't really understand the atomic bomb. Yes, a huge amount of energy, but it's diffuse, not focused. So that example doesn't really apply to the Schwinger limit. Using your same example, E equals mc squared, UFOs must be using a free energy system. The amount of mass required for the persistent massive energy requirement can only be coming from the environment. Hence, they must be using 0-point energy to fly. Let me know if you want me to tutor you in basic physics and electrical engineering. And then I give them the laughy face. I love these guys, man. I actually kind of want Jack to send me more crackpot emails, because this is actually just straight up gold. This is, I mean, I would pay for this level of entertainment, frankly. There you go. Just in case you guys thought I was lying. No, I don't have any Edward Lynn updates. I'm pretty sure I'll end up getting Edward Lynn killed if I were to go find him now. So I'm a little bit cautious about that. There you go. There's a full email. Sent that to Jack Sarfatti. Honestly, I might frame it. Maybe there's a few of these emails that they just deserve to be framed. Crazy, right? I'm probably not going to reveal the Brandon Fugel emails just because he's a nice guy. He's just a nice guy. So Brandon Fugel and Travis Taylor, I guess they're UFO people. They're connected to Skinwalker Ranch or something like that. A lot of people talk to me about Skinwalker Ranch. Where's that email? This one? Dude, Jack Sarfatti was going. I can't even, guys. We don't have time to go through all the emails tonight. I literally can't believe how many there are. Hold on. Oh, so I'll tell you guys what Brandon Fugel emailed me. So after I sent that email to Jack Sarfatti, the one I just read to you, Brandon Fugel replies just to me. This was 3 days ago. Not to Jack Sarfatti or anybody else. Just says, you should send that to all 50 or so people on every insane email chain started by Jack Sarfatti, smiley face. That's what Brandon Fugel told me in response. I just laughed. I saw Brandon Fugel's response. I love Brandon Fugel, man. What a funny guy. What a nice guy, you know? And he's a down-to-earth guy too, you know? So yeah, Brandon seems super chill. And so because he saw that, because Brandon Fugel, he's a smart guy. Like anybody that sees a UFO hovering, they should wonder, like, where's the energy coming from? Where's the energy coming from? David Chester, Jeremy, they want to come at me or whatever. Like, if you believe in UFOs, where's the energy coming from? Simple as that. Where's the energy coming from for this? You know, that's all you need to ask. And so then I responded to Brandon just directly and said, I only replied to him because I saw that you and Travis Taylor were on here, and it cracks me up how Jack always exposes people's emails in these unhinged email chains. And I said, I hope all is going well, Brandon. A lot of people ask me about Skinwalker Ranch, since apparently there's a lot of crossover in the science. Thank you, Ashton. And then Brandon, such a classy guy, chat. Such a classy guy, says, bless you in your efforts in this tumultuous field of frontier science exploration and discovery. It's awesome. What an awesome message, chat. Brandon Fugel, good guy, man. Good guy. Just in case people think it's, I'm not going to share it. I mean, whatever. You guys can believe me. Yeah, Brandon Fugel's cool, man. Okay. So that's all the emails we're going to go through tonight. I will give you guys an update if I get any more unhinged emails from Ron Pandolfi, because that was crazy. What a weird email about Bob Lazar. Some whole fake website they set up or something. Bizarre stuff. Okay, I want to go over real quick I'm not going to have time to go into all of it, but I want to go over some of the things that were missed in the Candace Owens interview. So rapid fire, and then we're going to close it out. It's been a long stream already. Things that were missed in the Candace Owens interview. First of all, the scientific papers. I gave them screenshots of the scientific papers. They did not post them. That's fine. They're mostly Hal Puthoff's papers, Kaluza Klein paper, Sakharov. So you guys can find them if you want to search. I may try to post them. The next interview that's going to drop, the next big one's going to be Hodge twins, probably. This fly is killing me, chat. So Hodge twins will be the next one. Sal Paez. I identified Salvatore Paez as the person who made the orbs, in which case Jack Sarfatti and all these other guys are going to look like fucking fools. And it explains why they're attacking Salvatore Paez, because they're disinformation agents, and Salvatore Paez literally made some fucking magic, right? It would make perfect sense. And this explains like what they do, right? They spread disinformation about people. They claim people are cranks when they like actually produced real stuff, as opposed to Jack Sarfatti, who's never produced anything real in his life. The other big thing, Robert J. O'Neill, the guy that killed Osama bin Laden, he posted on Twitter like the day after the Candace Owens interview, or maybe even the same night of the interview, said that MH370 was a message to China. It was never a mystery. It was a message to China, 6th generational warfare, as a warning to China. Next thing, the Inmarsat satellite data, finding out that the computers turned back on at 1825 UTC, just in time to invent the story of the plane going to the South Indian Ocean. And the Inmarsat executives, the one Inmarsat executive issued this disclaimer that the data was legit as long as it hadn't been spoofed or messed with. If you're the Inmarsat like CEO or whoever it was, why would you issue a weird disclaimer like that? That is bizarre. That means you must have assumed or had suspicion that the data had been manipulated. Inmarsat had suspicion that the data had been manipulated, and they didn't tell anybody. The other thing was that an Inmarsat engineer also claimed that they thought that somebody was playing a hoax or a prank on Inmarsat, which tells you that when they looked at the data, something didn't add up to them. Something did not add up to them. They never elaborated on what it was. Now, we know the answer 10 years later because we never found the plane. We never found one piece of the plane that the Inmarsat pings indicated the plane should be, which tells you the Inmarsat pings were fraudulent. And by fraudulent, I mean they were either fabricated, they were manipulated, or misinterpreted. Whatever it is, they're fraudulent. They don't tell the story of where the plane went. The Philip Wood picture. I never brought up the Philip Wood picture. Philip Wood, a picture showed up on 4chan. Black picture, has coordinates in it of Diego Garcia military base. He was a passenger on the plane. He said he had been kidnapped by the military, that he had been drugged, and he didn't know where he was. The phones ringing. I didn't bring up the phones ringing. The phones were ringing for up to 4 days afterwards. People proved it on national television. I found something that claimed they looked through the cell phone records. Well, I don't know if that data was never made publicly available. If so, someone should have looked into that. 19 phones were still ringing. 19, not 1, not 2, 19. The Iranians. Thank you very much, Thought Forms. I did not bring up the Iranians either. I need to add that to my list. There was 2 Iranian passengers on stolen passports that were flying together that also changed their appearance to look like the passports. That is damning. What? They got dismissed the very next day. The very next day. That's very bizarre. The CIA, Ron Pandolfi should blame MH370 on the Iranians. I mean, I gave you guys the free. That's much better disinformation than the South Indian Ocean. They should have said that Iranians took the plane and they flew it to, I don't know, a mountain or something. You know, people are stupid. They'll believe anything. And then the last thing is this video right here. So these videos are 1000% real. What I'm about to show you has never, there's no way to debunk it. The orb in the satellite video displaces the smoke trail behind it. This proves that both the smoke and the orb are real objects interacting in a three-dimensional environment. That's accurate fluid dynamics. No random hoaxer made these videos. This is beyond professional level quality if somebody had faked this. This is such a small detail. No hoax video has details like this. Again, what you're looking at here is the orb. We changed the colors on the videos so that you can see this detail more clearly. It's conclusive. This means this video is real. There's no 2D cloud pictures in this video. This is a real video. Clouds move and evolve. I'll go ahead and show as well, just because we're here. People that try to claim the clouds don't move. This is where, like, the reason why I call the corridor crew frauds, scammers, grifters, like, again, this is a statement of fact that I'm making. I dare them to sue me. I dare the corridor crew to sue me. They are frauds and grifters. They're not VFX artists. They did zero forensic analysis on these videos. They make fake videos for people and pretend that they have credentials that they don't actually have. They claim they just outright lied in their video, objectively lied multiple times, claim the clouds don't move. The clouds move. They don't just move, they evolve. Anybody that did any forensic analysis on these videos that's any type of VFX artist is going to be able to see that the clouds are moving. All you have to do is compare the frames. That's it. That's all we did here. That's all we did. You can see the clouds evolving naturally. Here you go. If you couldn't see it before, literally you can see the cloud right here wiggling up and down. Undeniable, absolute proof, completely 100% rules out 2D cloud picture. Rules it out. It doesn't matter because the 2D cloud pictures don't exist on the internet before 2016, but that's absolute proof. So when Kim.com lies to you about whatever, saying that the cloud pictures somehow prove these videos are fake, even though the cloud pictures post-date the videos, and we've conclusively 100% ruled out 2D cloud pictures could not make these videos, there really isn't much more to say, right? Corridor crew are frauds. Honestly, I hope they try to sue me because I will sue them. I will take every penny they have. I will take their YouTube channel. I will make sure they never work anywhere ever again. And so good luck. Same with Kim.com, actually. Kim.com's a fraud, a criminal, and a scammer. And if he tries to come after me, I will take every single penny of his mega upload money, and I will make sure he spends the rest of his life in prison. So good luck, bros. Thank you, MH370X. I love you guys. And we are going to prove these videos are real. We're going to force the government to issue a statement on them and tell us what really happened to MH370 and to stop lying about it, guys. Have a great night. I love you guys. Peace out, bros.
Out in the fields where the skies are wide, talking about a journey through the cosmic ride. Einstein and Thorne, they set the stage for a trip through time across the space age. Wormholes connect distant points in space, traversable paths to a far-off place. No black holes pull, no crushing weight, just a cosmic tunnel to a distant gate. Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow. We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow. chaotic matter. Negative energy's the key to stabilize the wormhole for you and me. Quantum vacuum squeeze so tight, creating conditions for this wondrous flight. Static fields and lasers in the lab they play, generating forces in a new kind of way. Gravitational squeezing, Casimir's force, negative zones we need to stay the course.
Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy. Travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
Thin shell formalism plates so fine, spherical geometry we realign. Energy conditions that we must defy. For a stable wormhole, let's give it a try. Unknown forces balancing the plates, creating the throat, open the gates, from Earth to the stars in a single bound. A shortcut through space profound. Engineers and dreamers hold the key to future worlds and what we could be. With science in hand, we forge ahead through the cosmic paths that we now tread.
We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy. Travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
From the fields to the stars, we break the chains. Understanding the universe, we make the gains. Lil Hula Crunk shines, bringing truth to light. Through his music, we'll explore the night. With wormholes and stargates, our path is clear. Exploring the cosmos, our future's